Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
It's clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberoids, clobberooskies, clobberologists, clobberians, clobby clobble this and clobble clobble that. And if you're not clobbling or gobble gobbling, well, the secret is to bang the rocks and the turkeys together, guys.
Whee! Clobberonimo!
We clobberonimo indeed.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, no chicken Thanksgiving. My dear friends, so good to see you here tonight on this wonderful Thanksgiving Day, which is a double holiday, bittersweet though it is in some ways for those of us who are both fortunate and unfortunate enough to call ourselves Doctor Who fans. So, but anyway, nevertheless, happy 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. We won't let a bunch of creeps spoil this day for us, and they tried. Boy, did they try. They've ruined them. Yeah, sure, they've destroyed the show, but they're not going to destroy my love for the show, as it was and always was meant to be. And I just had a wonderful time last night. I want to thank everyone who was here when I was doing my countdown of my top 25 all-time favorite episodes. What a rollicking crowd I had. You were all amazing. Had a bunch of you here. I never knew I had that many fellow Doctor Who fans in my audience, and I'm just pleased as punch about it. And you all were great. So, and before we get started, we're talking about some of that kind of stuff. And we don't none of the reviews or anything, by the way, tonight, folks. We're just going to be just hanging out. I hate to use the term, but what else could let chill stream, as the kiddies say. And if they are saying that, we've got to stop them. But anyway, it's a chill stream or something with my wonderful first officer. And who knows, other friends might pop in later. We hope. And we'll just we'll talk about a few things, and then see if you got anything that you guys want to talk about. As long as it's geekness, as long as we don't have to explain where babies come from or anything like that, we're good. No birds and the bees tonight.
Clobby,
what?
Where do babies come from?
The stork. So, number one, welcome, and I love you. Thanks for being here with me tonight on Thanksgiving.
I love you too. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my American friends. It's not Thanksgiving here in Canada, but everyone knows how I feel about America and Americans. So I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, and I want you all to know how thankful I am for your readership and for your friendship. I've just had such a wonderful time with you over these last 3 years, and just so many great friends. So happy Thanksgiving. I just love you and appreciate you all very much. And I hope you had a great day. And Clobby, I love you. Very, very, very
I
much. Happy Thanksgiving. I wish we could be together today. We
do
can
too.
have turkey. I heard you had deep fried turkey. That makes me a little jealous.
Yeah,
But
but not
great
enough
to be
of it
here.
though. You know, when you get a very small portion of it, it's worse than getting like it's actually worse because you can't just eat a little bit of it and then it's all gone. But I mean, it's better than nothing. I didn't think I was going to get any turkey all day, but
It is
it
addictive.
was the
It
first time.
is addictive.
This is the first time I've in well almost 6 decades. I won't say exactly old name that I've not been at a family Thanksgiving gathering or at any kind of gathering at all. I mean, really, I never thought about it. It's the first time ever. Things are scattered and stuff, but I'm going on a sort of vacation this weekend, so
I'm very excited about that.
And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the show or whatnot. But anyway, by the way, thank you, Doc Fortune, for being a new member.
Hey, Doc! What's up, Doc?
Doc, thank you so much. It's an honor to have you in the memberships. And before I do some show notes and shout outs and such, number one, please do an open, promote and tell us what you got going on, of course, and talk about the things you usually open with.
Okay, I'll get right to it. Hail to the chat. Good evening. I don't see any new faces. I see a whole bunch of friends. Hello, everyone. I just love you so much. Ravenscroft is asking if anyone brought pie. I so wish that someone would provide me with some pumpkin pie, or we could just call it pumpkin pie like I usually do. But I could go for some pumpkin pie and whipped cream. And hail to the wrenches. Good evening. And a special shout out to Larry. I just want to thank you for promoting the show on CLOBBY'S channel today on your social media. You are a sweetheart of a human. I also want to thank Chris Persia for going out of his way to make marvelous advertisements for this show that look like television or movie posters. And he splashes them everywhere. Promoting CLOBBY'S channel and promoting CLOBBY'S shows. So I just wanted to send a special shout out to Larry and to Chris Persia. Folks, I also want to say a very happy Thanksgiving to my patrons. I have patrons who are backing my new book. If you haven't read my first book, it's available at Barnes & Noble. It's also available at Amazon. And on Amazon, you can actually buy each story for only 99 cents USD. But onto the new book. I will be participating in the Silver Bells Christmas market on Saturday. In the afternoon. And you know who pays for that? My patrons. These are the marvelous people who are backing my new book, and they enable me to have advertising, to participate in conventions, to get out into these different festivals and places to put my book. So I just want to shout them out and give them some love. I have two full backers. They are Larry and Tony Stark. I just want to thank you for your generosity, your loyalty, and your friendship. I appreciate you so much. I also want to thank my patrons, my dedicated and loyal readers and friends for buying my stuff, reading my stuff, and spreading it around. And that is Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin. May you rest in peace, sir. Thank you for always supporting my work, and I will never forget that you backed me from the beginning. Shooter, Wagner, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K, and his trusty dusty dog Kirby. God, I love that dog. Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C and his beautiful family, Anti-Derivative Jill, that's right, Jilly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, Dadman and the Dadman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course, Little Lancelot, Little Lancy. Let's chuck him some cheese in the chat. Rob Altus and Tyler, thank you for backing my book. I couldn't do it without you. I also want to give a shout out to all of the lurkers out there. Thank you for supporting CLOBBY'S channel and just pushing us over the 200 and 300 viewer limit. You might not feel comfortable being in the chat, or that might not be your cup of tea, but I want you to know that CLOBBY and I really appreciate you. So thank you to all the lurkers, especially guys out there like And I just want to thank all of the members for their memberships. You know, membership has its privileges. You can hop on board here and become a member on Clobberin Times, and we have funny emojis. You can meet with Clobby and have a special one-on-one where you guys talk about comic books when he does his member stream, and it's just a ton of fun. If you're not ready to dive in and get a membership yet, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that or clobber that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when Clobby is on air, and I'd like to keep the lights on at this fantastic virtual comic book shop with this comic book expert who just walked up to me one day on social media and said, "Hey, you like Star Trek? Let's get together." And the rest is history. 3 years of this big, cuddly bear, sweet man, Southern gentleman being in my life. And I just love him to pieces, Mises, as they say in Ireland. So I'm excited about tonight's show. And I'm also excited for all of you for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And with that, I'm going to be quiet now and send it over to the boss. Captain?
Oh, excuse me. Well, you're too nice. Love you, and thank you so much for that. And just great to see everybody here tonight. It's, we all, I'm gonna do this. Well, let's do this. Let me do the shout outs and the show notes and stuff before we get on with that nonsense, right? What I was about to say about Doctor Who, but yeah, because we want to keep it fun tonight. But yeah, there's sadness out there when it comes to the stuff that we love. Sometimes, when it comes to the geek stuff that we just adore. And we have to deal with that, right? But yeah. So
Corporations, they're incorrigible. And now that artists aren't backing these things and artists aren't creating these things, instead it's corporate teams. They're making everything quite unfun, aren't they?
Well, yeah, of course, in this case, it was a government that did it. But yeah, I mean, but they're a corporate. They're also a corporation, though.
Yeah. Oh, DJ Play Nice. That's a new face. Oh, and he's throwing the horns. And he says,
yeah.
Wee!
We indeed. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you, DJ Play Nice. Welcome to Clobberin Times. I hope you have great fun tonight.
Well,
and the Lost Souls trilogy. I've seen you here before. Great to see you again. Welcome.
Yes, we're going to definitely greet everybody. So, excuse me. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, did anyone have the misfortune of watching them? Oh, we'll get to that. I keep getting sidetracking myself. All right. Show notes and shout outs tomorrow night. We've been hanging out with the great Nick Weiser on his channel, our good buddy 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Actually, I think it'll be 9 p.m. though, Central Time. We're going to be reviewing the Fantastic Four Sphinx saga, which was one that I read a long time ago and must go read again before we do that tomorrow night. So that'll be fun, and check that out if you're a comics fan on the great comic shop talk over there for him. And then of course Saturday night, Star Trek. 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Voyager Season 3. These are the 4 episodes. Yes. And then I will be out of town for a while, but Mark, the great Mark D with the C, our chief engineer, who may stop by and visit, maybe not, I don't know. But he will have the Geekery going on Sunday night, as always, obviously, and it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. He'll probably be doing some eatery, knowing him, especially being this holiday. So there's that. Then I don't know what's going to happen for Monday and Wednesday. I may not be able to put a show on Monday or Wednesday because I'm going to be out of town. But we'll be back for the Clubhouse next Tuesday night.
Clobby's going somewhere warm.
No, actually, no.
I hope he has fun.
I'm already somewhere warm.
Just wish him a wonderful time.
What do you mean going somewhere warm? I live somewhere warmer than that everywhere.
Well, I know, but it's kind of resorty. I'm really excited for you.
Don't be. In fact, you should hate me for it.
No, I like it when good things happen to you and you haven't been on vacation in forever. And so you're actually going to like a resort hotel. You're going to have a wonderful time. The sun is going to be shining. And I am so happy because I want you to have a wonderful time.
I don't even know.
You deserve it.
Why do you think all that? No, I'm not going to a hotel. No. I don't even know where she's getting any of that, folks.
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever they're here not, whether here or not, we shout out our wrenches. The great Derek K, the bronze wrencher. Chris Persia, vindicated wrencher, the Great White North. You there?
D. Bud Martin.
Oh, the great D. Bud Martin, wrench of iron.
Yep.
Lord,
also a mathematician. I love that about him. I think that's one of his coolest. Like, I think that might be the coolest thing about him.
D-Bud, for the record, I don't agree with that at all. The coolest thing about you is that you wrote a whole book about Iron Man armors. Don't anyone ever tell you different, dude. Or if he's...
Shout out to D-Bud.
Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. Shout out to Lady Thoth as well, the lovely better half. And, of course, Avon lives long, live the Legion. My partner in crime on earth be the wrench without fear, the great J-Man, who, by the way, has a great channel. Mm-hmm. And he just finally got accepted into the YouTube partnership program. He's got he can even join his channel now. He's got group memberships. Good. And he's a great fellow and a great friend of mine that I enjoy hanging out with a lot. And
he's also an author, and his stories are on sale at Amazon. His wife is an award-winning poet here in Canada. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, Jason, J-Man, he was someone who came out in the beginning and went on Amazon and really left reviews saying what he really thought about my stories. And that's how I became friends with him. And he's just so articulate. He's just so well-spoken and kind, and he really knows his stuff. And to have someone like him reading my stories and my book and loving it, it's a huge compliment to me. So I really like to shout out J-Man, because he's really good to Clobby and he's really good to me. So when the captain tells you to go mosey on over there and give him a follow, he's giving you good advice, folks.
J-Man is an awesome dude and a great pal, and yes, indeediousness. So let's see here. Where was we? Where was I? I forget where I was.
J-Man.
Oh yeah, J-Man. Never heard of him. He's a good buddy. J-Man's a good buddy, and he, contrary to popular belief, he doesn't really like Highlander too. So don't let that color your
such a low blow.
Don't let that color your your opinion of him, because he doesn't like it at all. He's not telling. He just says that. That's for a cover. Blow.
I'm telling
it's a cover up. Yeah. Don't tell him I said that. Well, we love Jay, man. He's a great friend.
We do.
All right, let's see here. Up in hill. Where were I? Oh yeah, Maddie's daddy. Thor in Vegas. We did a French meal. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had the wrong background up, so.
No, that's okay, honey.
All right. Damn it. Oh, sorry, everyone. A boomerang. Boomerang. Where? Oh, how'd that happen? Anyway, Stephen Catwell, the Super Wrench.
Hey, real soap.
The Fanty, the rascally wrench himself.
Fanty!
Hungry boy, master of the CLOBBERIN.
Yay. He also painted the cover of my book. The guy is so
right.
talented. Thank you, HB.
Indeed, HB. And then Clobberin Time's own music meister, Maximum Redstone.
Maximum Redstone.
Let us see who is up in here in the chat with us.
Okay.
I got to run the thing. Give me a second, everybody. I got to run the chat back, so I'm going to shout you all out. FKHC 2005 Hike. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, always good to see you there, Fairfax. And by the way, anyone lurking or watching later on a download, please accept my thanks. I really do appreciate it. It is, again, you are extraordinary. And I do. Oh, there we go. And again, it is much appreciated. Sorry about that. I didn't have you on the screen there.
Nah, it's okay. So, you don't need me on the screen.
You all rock. You actually, trust me, we do. Everyone does. So anyway, if you would like or subscribe or anything like that, but just thank you for that. West Cagle.
Good evening, West.
All right, nice West. Good to see you, West. Penny. Hey, Penny.
Penny. Oh, yeah. I know. She had a request earlier, so.
Oh, good. Glad that was a request. Bro Goo from the old hometown. What's up? with your bad self. Good to see you,
Did
my
you
friend.
know what I saw, Brogru, that I saw at Canadian Tire tonight? I don't know if you'd be able to get it in the United States, but I saw the Grogu in a Chia Pet.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Do you know
Yeah,
what a
probably-
Chia Pet is?
I do.
Okay, so they have a Grogu in a Chia Pet.
Why am I not surprised? Not a surprise to at all. Okay, but it's good to know though. At least he's Brogu and not Grogu though. That's a good thing.
Max is on his phone out for supper with his beautiful family. They're having Thanksgiving dinner, and he's like, I will be back later. But he snuck in to say hello to us, boss. So he's in the chat, but he has to now sneak back to the table where he's eating. Max, we love you.
All right, Max. I'm trying to get through all these every month, but who do we blame?
Me.
No, I'm just kidding. It's me. Is got to be mean to somebody, and that's usually the first officer that gets blamed for everything.
Yep,
that's just not true. That's only that's only on Wiscard's ship. The real captain, like Kirk, takes the blame for everything. Dave C.
Dave,
what's up, Davey? The Gwag man is here.
Gwagnar,
our newest member. What's up, Dak? Fortune.
Hey, nice to see you again.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. Wonky man. Hey.
Donkey man.
Empress NM. What
good
up?
Good evening.
JT Kirk. Sorry about those lines today, buddy. What is it that they shouldn't drop games like that in their division on Thanksgiving Day, buddy. But there's don't start saying same old Lions yet. You're still like you're 8-3, and you got that division wrapped up if you don't start doing that. But yeah, you're turning the ball over a lot like you were last week and barely got away with beating the Bears. You better get concerned, man. Get out there on that field.
It's because he is T-Rock.
That is true. I don't know what it had to do with the game, but it is true. He is. All right, let's see.
JT Kirk, I believe I just heard him do the
You did. It was an accident.
Gotta get him he doesn't drink alcohol, otherwise we would have to send him a stubby Canadian.
It's a strange brew, and not just a strange, it's a Bob and Doug. I love them. McKenzie brothers.
Good day.
Good day. Thank you, Hoser. It's Ravenscroft. Hello there, Ravenscroft.
Good evening. Nice to see you.
Adrian James. Hey.
Good evening, Adrian.
Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. I'm scrolling. I make dumb noises when I scroll. The Lost
Scrolling. Keep that captain scrolling.
The Lost Souls trilogy. Hey.
Take off, you hoser.
Jonah Hex.
Yes.
Jonah Hex.
You're Fat Albert. Your Fat Albert's so
good. It comes from experience. Jonah Hex. Dude, I love Jonah Hex, the character from the comic, but man, that movie, you got to admit that movie's terrible with Josh Brolin. Come on, we have to talk about that one of these days, man. But I love still, just the fact that you the name Jonah Hex is cool with me, and we appreciate you.
Chris Persia is thrilled that because you are completely surrounded in Canadians, he says it finally happened. Clubby has joined the ranks of us hosers, eh?
No, I'm an American, eh? Take off, you hoser. DJ, play nice. But then again, you're Americans too. You live in North America, so whatever.
That's right. We're Americans
you're
too.
You're Americanadians.
We are.
You're Americanadians.
No, Americanadians sounds perfect, boss. You're so good at naming things.
I'm changing your country to Amerinadia.
Well, thank you.
And I have that power, folks.
Does that mean it will be cheap for me to come and visit you?
What?
I want it to be cheaper for me to come and visit
you.
Yeah,
I'm going to knock the border. The border will. You just be another state. That's what we're going to do.
Please. Thank you.
Statehood for Canada, folks.
Thank you.
And I should be your president. I'll be your president, and I'll sing until you depose me and have me executed. All right. Take yeah, wherever. I'm almost there, folks. Movie sucks, but I like the look. Yeah, face guard. Okay, I got you. Well, you know what? He does look cool. He does look pretty cool as Joe Nix. I'll give you that. The movie's intolerable. Yeah. I got you.
JT Kirk, that's a great nickname for Clobby. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now all the Canadians have to spread this around. I love that. The Cajun hoser, eh? Hanging around with the Captain Cajun hoser, eh?
But I'm not really Cajun. Not everyone in Louisiana's Cajun, you know.
I know, but we like Cajun, man.
I don't.
Up in here.
I don't like no Cajun man up in here. Let me tell you something, Shay. Y'all come down the bayou, we get you some shrimp Creole, eh? Yeah, Shay. But yeah, you gotta, I'm sorry, I hate it. Yeah, but that's how they talk in certain parts. First comics were Sergeant Rocket Joe and Hex. Cool. They're great in this. Okay, let's see here. First up, 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and of course the poo-poo BBC. All right, look, we already know Russell T Davies that I can't say it. What is it? Put it like this. To quote Rimmer when he was angry with Crichton in one episode when he goes, Crichton, you are a complete and total. Well, the word hasn't been of what you are, but you are one, and a complete and total one at that. And that is what Russell T Davies is. Screw his. Never mind. Stop. Don't do it. Anyway. And Mark Gatiss, you're just as bad. Go to. All right. I don't know. First of all, I'm not bitching about the colorized Daleks yet. I did not watch it yet. My good buddies, Dan Hadley, Ian, and some of those guys on there on the amazing Type 40. If you're a Doctor Who fan, Type 40 cast, by the way, is a great channel. And Dan Hadley is an awesome fellow, as is Ian and those other, and Starry Eyed Girl and Charlotte and all those wonderful people over there. And I love their show, and I watched them all day today. That they were live. For those who do not know, first up on the agenda, I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing. If you're familiar with Doctor Who at all, the very first episode, well, I better stop because you got this one. You guys are making me laugh so loud, I'm going to wake the house. That's what we're here for, dude. No charge.
We love you, JT Cook.
Yes. But so the Daleks, which of course was the second serial of Doctor Who, the first one being the 4-parter of The Unearthly Child, which was the debut of, in fact, 60 years ago today, The Unearthly Child with William Hartnell. And Willie, excuse me, sorry, and Ian Russ and William Hartnell, and anyway, and that debuted today, 60 years ago, the day after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which was 60 years ago yesterday, and therefore that's why they thought a lot of people didn't watch because of that worldwide, tragedy. So they actually re-aired the first episode again later, but. That was a 4-part serial, but the second serial, which was a 7-parter, was called The Daleks. For those who may not know, Doctor Who was on the verge of extinction almost before it got out the gate, because after those 4 serials, or those 4 episodes were run for that first serial, and Unearthly Child, it was not getting great ratings. They were under a lot of pressure. BBC hated it, and they were just kind of but they'd already filmed some, so they went ahead and they showed The Daleks. First episode, of course, actually, the Daleks are not in it as much. But anyway, 7-parter. These weird rolling pepper pots that look like salt shakers, or pepper pots as they call them over there. They talk like this, exterminating. Well, the BBC, the story is the BBC was inundated with phone calls from parents saying, don't you ever show those horrible things again. But guess what? The kids were running around going, exterminating, playing like Daleks. They're like, oh, wow. They didn't, the kids couldn't get enough, and they became the craze of the 60s, the Daleks, and it saved the show. And, the rest is 60 years of history, for better or worse. For better until 10 years ago or less. Anyway, that's just an opinion of a fan. So, for the 50th anniversary, a film was made, a TV film was made by Mark Gatiss, who did a nice job of a book called Doctor Who, Adventures in Space and Time. And it was not a Doctor Who story. It was a story about William Hartnell, the first Doctor, and how the show got started. And it was a lovely biopic. David Bradley beautifully plays William Hartnell in the thing. And it talks about how Verity Lambert and the rest, and Sidney Newman and others put together the show, how it all got started, and how it goes until it ends 3 years later when William Hartnell leaves the role. So I'm not really spoilery because it's history. But anyway, it's a really touching thing, and it's great. And it shows the very last. It chronicles at the end of the movie where and fans already know this. So it's not spoilery. Where William Hartnell goes into the TARDIS console room for the last time to film his last scene playing the Doctor. And it's very sad. He's very emotional. And there's this beautiful scene that surprised every one of us when we first watched this the night before the 50th anniversary. And this was really beautiful. We all got to see this scene where William Hartnell, played by David Bradley, looks over to the side, and we just got a scene with Matt Smith, the current, at the time, 11th Doctor, the great Matt Smith, just standing there. And they just look at each other, and it just rips your heartstrings in the best of ways. I just loved it. It made me want to cry right there. I can't believe it. We didn't expect it. Didn't know that was going to happen. It was beautiful. And it's a really touching scene, and I recommend that movie for any Doctor Who fan who hasn't seen it. And even though I've ruined the ending for you, this is too bad. Because I have a complaint. Come 10 years later, now I keep hearing some retroactive back talk that I'm not so... All right, put it to you like this. We all know that the new Doctor was cast about a year ago, played by Ncuti Gatwa. And I can't say his name very well either, and I apologize for that. Not an actor I'm looking forward to because they've already ruined the show. Agreed, Chris Perger. Very touching moment. They've already ruined the show, right? Well, they re-aired it last night, 10 years later. And guess what they did? They took Matt Smith out and put Ncuti in there. And he winks at the first Doctor with his... Now, he's the new Doctor. Not for me, because I'm sick of it. The show's dead on arrival for him. The way Russell T Davies has been acting and with the Timeless Children still standing and him not erasing it, I'm done anyway. But nothing against the young man Ncuti playing the role, or nothing against him personally. But it's an affront. So all I'm saying is this: if you enjoyed that at all, go get the physical copy of the old one, because they will change that on streaming, and they will put out a new DVD or Blu-ray of it and DVD of it probably, and it'll be changed. And that sucks. Even if they claim Gatiss said, "Oh no, I want to update it with the new Doctor at each anniversary, whoever the new Doctor is. I want to do that." Maybe that's true. I don't, true or not, I just can't stand it. But like you said, Chris, they defiled a brilliant moment, at least for those of us who are unhappy with what's happened to the show in the past 6-7 years. Granted, it's a fan thing, and granted that if the show had not been so horrible now and what they did with the Chibi and Jodie era, that this wouldn't be so bad. I would say, okay, whoever the current Doctor is, that's fine. But hey, Dave G. Sound, good to see you. And Jacob Ironside, great to see you.
Yay! Good evening, Jacob Ironside. And
Welcome,
Dave
both.
G. Sound, not just another body of water.
Wonky, Monkey Man. I've seen hugging, RTD hugging Ncuti. I'm sure I've seen that before, I think, but he could hug anyway. So look, I don't like it. Hey, Don. What's up, buddy? And Larry's here.
Don Power Ranger. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I don't care. No, I'm kidding. Larry! A man so nice, a gentleman so nice. You should say his name twice, perhaps thrice. Larry. Happy Thanksgiving, sweetheart. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Good to see you, Larry. And Don, hey, look, your Cowboys did okay, but I don't think your Seahawks are going to make it tonight, buddy. But that's what you get for having two teams. Sports fans should only have one team in each sport. I'm telling you, man, you need to listen to me on these things. I mean, it's bad. It's heartbreaking enough to have one team. Anyway, so you saw that as well, Adrian. And look, if that's true and Gatiss always intended that, I mean, fine, but all I'm saying is go out and make sure, if you don't, and I don't own it physically yet, but it's cheap. Go out and get Adventures in Space and Time right now, the one that still has Matt Smith on it, if you don't want yours changed to the fake Doctor. And he's a fake Doctor to me because he was cast by RTD, who's a sack of crap. And if RTD, maybe if he had decided to erase if he'd just given us that, erased the Timeless Children, ignore, or at least we're going to ignore it. I probably would have been, I would have lived with the terrible Chibi era because I never would have to watch it again. And I guess I'm going to watch this. I've already committed to watching the 3 David Tennant Christmas specials, which start Sunday. If I can find a way while I'm out of town, I'll watch those. Oh boy, but I'm not excited because I keep hearing things about it. But I want to be excited about it too, man. I would like to be excited about Doctor Who one more time with those Tennant shows. But it's RTD, so it's really tough. I mean, we've been through this with Star Wars, we've been through this with Star Trek, we've been through this with comics and the Marvel crap. So, and now we've been through this with Doctor Who for about 10 years, really, or 8 years. So it's nothing new. It's just when it comes, it stings more when it's around anniversary time. And back to the one, and before we get done with that, I just want to go back to the Daleks now. Again, the Daleks episode, which was, again, the second serial for William Hartnell, which saved the series. They've taken it, and it was a 7 parts, like 3-something hours, which is it's tough to watch. It's a tough watch now. But they've cut it down to 75 minutes and colorized it. And as a big 60th anniversary special. I prefer my old Doctor Who in black and white, but they're doing this just as a special thing. I mean, again, and Dan and the boys thought it was harmless fun. A couple of people on the panel had a lot of things that they criticized on it. You have to have a BBC iPlayer to watch it right now, I guess, which I do. I was able to go register for that. And if you want, I could tell you how to register for that if you're not over there. I could tell you the sneaky way to get around. Anyway, but. And I watch it, and I heard they made it looks really amazing for the technology. Kronos, Godwise, hey, I'm not sure it was necessary to do this. You could have done something better to celebrate the 50th anniversary or 60th anniversary than colorizing an old black and white episode. I just don't understand why you really needed to do that. I mean, if it is kind of cute to see it with the technology and all that stuff. They got some of the colors wrong, I understand, and they added some crazy modern garish music. So I don't know. I'll watch it later. I meant to watch it today. I didn't get a chance, but I don't know if any of you've seen it yet. I know my friends across the pond have. So let me know if any of you liked it. A lot of people are liking it, and some are not happy. Just not so sure it needed to be done. But hey, that's just me. And anyway, but I watched it skipping. Oh, says Wonky Wonky Man. You watched it skipping? You watched it at skip? Or you mean you watched it and you're going to skip it? Or, JT Kerr says black and white was filmed that way, and you'll lose detail if you colorize. What's the damn? Well, with modern day technology, people are saying that it's colorized nicely, and I've seen some scenes and some stills, and I mean, it looks technically well done, I guess. But let's see. Steven says it wasn't the Beastie Boys. Oh, it wasn't. Was it? Or is that just the filth? No, it's just filth trek for the Beastie Boys. No, it was just some kind of. It wasn't. I'm told it wasn't all Murray Gold that they had. They said Murray Gold did do it, but someone said it just didn't sound right for that episode, which I can believe it. If you try to put too modern music in those old Doctor Who's, it just doesn't.
Well, that's just it. And,
right.
You hear that throughout the geek fandom and the nerd fandom. Like, people get really upset. They don't want the anachronistic intrusion of modern music or switching the genre of music.
No, I don't mean...
Yeah. I'm watching Versailles right now, and Versailles, the beginning of it, the intro of it is like, I think it's Arcade Fire. And so here you're watching something because you're watching about, Louis the 14th, and yet it's playing like super modern music. And same with when they did this stupid Beastie Boys thing with the filth. Like, people in Star Trek, we're expecting a glorious orchestration. We don't want the Beastie Boys. So I wish these corporations would back off of this weird thing they're constantly doing with music. I don't like it. I hate it. And lots of geeks and nerds hate it.
I don't mean pop music, though. I don't mean like putting like songs from the Beastie Boys or whatever. I'm talking about the incidental music, the score. Is weird.
Wow.
Yeah, in other words, it sounds like they're saying it's. Oh, I haven't judged myself yet, but they're saying it's overly dramatic, for a show like that, a show that didn't have a lot of quick cuts and a lot of, bombastic action. Sort of like take a show with, zero budget like that show had. It had clunky sets and it didn't have a lot of fast moving action, and then had a fast moving modern soundtrack to it. That's what they say.
This is what I mean. I don't know who is guiding them in their musical choices. Like,
I don't know.
I just don't understand it. No one wants to watch that crap.
It works on modern Doctor Who, but it doesn't. From what I'm told, it doesn't really work on this because, again, that's a faster paced, modern show. So, I don't know, but imagine they did that like with original Star Trek, which has some of the best incidental music. Ezra Goldstein, hello there,
Shalom, hello, sweetheart.
Shalom. Yeah, take Star Trek for example. Like I said, has some of the Fred Steiner and some of the other guys who did the, in Alexander Courage and all that great. Some of the great back. There's soundtracks for every episode, and they're all great. And imagine taking that away from an original Trek episode and putting more the kind of music you hear in a modern TV show, even if it's a good show, that's fast paced. It just wouldn't sound right.
No, it doesn't, and you can detect it. It's anachronistic, and people know that immediately. They say this does not belong here. It doesn't suit it, And I wish they'd stop doing it, and they're doing it. It seems like they're doing it everywhere now, and I absolutely hate it. And it's so funny when I'm scrolling through Instagram and Twitter, because those are my social media channels. Everyone's saying it. Just stop with the modern music in the old films, or writing, or doing a historical film and doing all this super modern music with it, or going back and adding music that people don't expect and don't want in their franchises. So you got to herd of people behind you, Clobby. We all hate that crap. We hate that. It's crap. As Zathras would say. Zathras.
Keely Chow, roll that tide and I'm going to say congrats to your Cowboys for once, because I can't stand the Washington Commies and they beat the crap out of them. So, and that kid Bland set an NFL record today with he has 5 pick sixes in one season. That's insane. That never stood for 100 years because no one ever did it, and that'll stand for another 100. It's unreal. So 5, holy crap, and it's not even near the end of the season. That's insanity. So, but anyway, sorry for the sports ball.
I like these two comments from Emperor's NM, and then the one right after with Chris Persia.
You know what a 50-year-old British property needs? More hip-hop muck.
That's great. And then Chris comes right behind. I'll put Chris up for you. Hold on. Wait for Chris.
I don't know. Removing 100 minutes from across those 7 episodes is a lot. That's 57% of the story gone. Yes. And again, the pacing of those, it's those episodes in the old days. And look, this is just me admitting something that's true. Even if it's Star Trek or whatever, if there's something to say that's true, even if it's not pleasant, you have to do it. And there were times when they had just a limited amount of scripts, but they had to fill certain bits of time. And in those first 3 seasons, 3 Doctors, almost all of them, they had stories that could have been told in 3 to 4 chapters or less, stretched out to 6, in this case 7, and more sometimes, which means they had to pad these episodes up to the point like, oh God, this just had to make up some crap to do in this episode. You could tell the story faster, but you have to write more stories if you do that, and it was time consuming, and they had no budget. So I could understand it. Stephen says, Paramount regarding Star Trek, put a modern song in it and make it lame. Yes.
I know what that reference was, so I had to put it up in the marquee because I just think it's funny.
Yep. The only thing I would slightly amend to that, sir, is it's CBS and Paramount.
Oh, yes. Because all you see, SEE,
is BS.
BS.
And they really, as bad as Paramount is, CBS was really the big ruination. That piece of crap Moonves. Ugh. The guy who was running CBS, who hated Star Trek but still wanted to stay on it. And he's the creep that gave us Jar Jar Abrams, after all. So yes, Les Moonves is the reason Star Trek was initially he put in the sea that destroyed Star Trek. Piece of crap. Yeah, so that's my blaming, and I'm sticking to it. So what do you think? Black lives or black, I'm not gonna say that word, all of that one, but hey there, what's worse, getting wrecked or getting trekked? Black lives or black butts? I don't know. Getting wrecked. I'm going to go with that one. Did I get it right? I don't know. But welcome to the show. I've not seen you here yet.
Hello, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you. So, but my guess is going to be wrecked. So, what do I win? Any movie where using modern music is an archaic setting was A Knight's Tale. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't watch it, but I heard about A Knight's Tale. But only because it did so consistently, it worked for that story. Yeah, it worked for that. They say it. I've never even seen it, but I've heard about that. Yeah, they used rock and roll music, and even though it was set in medieval times, but it was kind of a gimmick for that movie, you know. Which, yeah, I don't know. I want a date night with Lizzo. Okay, well, I'll call her. Or should I call her? Is she going to call me? Because if she's going to call me, she's paying. All I got to say, she's got a lot more money than I do. Well, but then who doesn't? So
I think all of her dates are at the strip club, though. I believe if you speak to her dancers, I believe all of her dates happen at the strip club.
Oh, I thought you said she was going to take me to the strip club on the date.
No. I don't know.
It might not be so bad if she's taking me to the strip club on the date. You know. My phone is busy.
Either way, I want you wearing a hazmat suit.
Yes, I will. And if you get the chance, A Knight's Tale is worth the watch. I know Alan Tudyk's in that, but I don't know, and Heath Ledger, but I don't think I would ever watch such a thing, Fandy. I know me. I don't know me fairly well these days. In fact, I kind of like don't know me at all anymore, it seems sometimes. But the little I do know of me is I know I probably wouldn't watch that one. Just saying. Because sometimes I get the chance to watch stuff and still don't watch it. That's all I'm saying. But
do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
But you said it's worth a watch, so, and I'm sure everybody's seen it but me. Yeah. You haven't seen it, have you?
What?
A Knight's Tale.
No.
Well, that's two of us then.
No. What is that about?
It's just Heath Ledger and Alan. It basically takes place in some story about medieval times. It's an adventure type thingy where.
Ooh, really?
But it has modern rock and roll music in it.
Oh no, that's not good. I don't want to watch that. I like period pieces and I like fantasy, but I definitely I hate the modern music thing. Over
this is the 90s, by the way. But yeah, it's the 90s. I don't know what kind of music. Maybe like older rock. I don't know what. I mean, I've not seen it, but I know it has that because that's something that you hear about the movie Camelot. It's Camelot with rock and roll music, right, Jonah Hex? Okay, there you go. No, sir. People like it though. It's look, if I were a more open-minded individual, Fanty, I'm with you. I hear you, but let's just face it, I'm not. I'm pretty close-minded, especially when it comes to movies. I'm like, I'll see.
What? It has Queen? I love Queen.
Oh, it has Queen in it? Well, that's good though.
Oh, I love Freddie Mercury.
It's a comedy, says Minimus. Minimusness. Donnie.
Hey, Minimus. Can you thank your much better other,
no,
your significant other, and tip the hat to her for me? And I think you know what I'm talking about. Minimus.
No, don't. Please, God Almighty, don't. I can't believe you did that. You can put me in the agony booth. The agony booth. Everyone put number one in the agony booth. Which if you do it, we don't have an agony booth thingy, do we?
Yes, we do.
Have one.
Yes, we do. I created one, and it is in our emojis. Really? Yeah, we have the Klingon Rite of Ascension. We have the agony booth. We have the agonizer. We have the rover. We have the clobby. So if you really want to clobber somebody, I actually have a picture of your head.
So we don't have. But we don't have. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about. I knew I was saying that, but also we don't have a video. The closest we have to a video is this.
Your agonizer, please.
Oh, there's the agony booth. There you go.
Do you want me to make you a super short clip of the agony booth?
Yeah, Mark did one. I just think I lost. I think he did. The agony booth is the most effective means of discipline.
It is. Highly effective.
Duration. Yes. So, what and what
Minimus.
number one in the agony booth with some number two.
Minimus.
Oh,
Minimus. That's it. You know where I'm putting the Klingon pain sticks, right? Right up your butt, Buster.
Oh, wow. Butt
Somebody
buster.
rover Minimus. You will be rovered, Minimus.
You shall be avenged. I stand corrected. It's not King Arthur based. It's based off of the Canterbury Tales.
Oh,
Okay.
get out of town.
I got you. Well, there you go. Number one will watch it, but not me. So there you go. I mean, look, people like it. You know, wasn't there some Western that did that too, that had like modern music, a modern soundtrack? Wasn't those Young Guns movies or something? Anyone who's watched those, familiarize me with it, because I never really watched them. I hear they're pretty good.
I saw them at the drive-in. Well, I saw the first one at the drive-in because I like Westerns, and I believe it was that. What's that pop guy with the crazy hair? Bon Jovi.
Yeah, they had. Oh, good God, I can't. Not in the Western, baby.
Yeah, it didn't suit the movie. Of course, I'm all in to see Billy the Kid, right? Billy the Kid was an Irish immigrant who came to North America, and I like the Billy. I try and see as many Billy the Kid films as I can. I love really high quality Westerns. So, but yeah, you're right, Clubby. That didn't work in that one either. Bon Jovi.
Young Guns, yes. I haven't seen Young Guns, says John X, since the 90s. My ex-girlfriend loved it, but I think that film was for women. Whoa.
Whoa. Shots fired. Pew, pew, pew.
Hey, Wayne Drenning, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before either. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're doing well.
Evening, Wayne.
Dead or Alive. Yeah, that's cool. Wanted, Dead or Alive. Of course, it was a great show. Minimus says that Young Guns was just very historically accurate. That's good.
Good stuff.
That is a good thing. Yep, sure. Yep.
It was a great movie.
Oh, cool.
I did enjoy it, but I like good, like really high quality Westerns because they're really good storytelling.
I love me some Westerns. Usually, and again, they're so rare these days. But yeah, I mean, well, these days they're extinct. But I mean, back then they were once in a while. Blaze of Glory. There you go. I'm not even knocking it. I'm just saying that was one of those ones that used modern,
Yeah, and it still didn't work. Even though, and I agree with Minimus. Like that was a quality movie. And as far as I know, fairly historically accurate.
What about the second one?
I didn't see the second one.
Oh, Blades of Glory is from the second one, says Doc Fortune. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, Doctor Who, folks, it's the 60th. Like I said, did any of you celebrate it by watching your favorite episodes and stuff? Or I know last night we talked about our top episodes. I watched well, it was sort of today because it was, but it even though I didn't get to watch any of it today, any episodes today, I've been watching them a lot. And I counted down my best ones and stuff last night. So a little later tonight, I'll recap those one last time so I can show them one last time real fast. But we'll get on to some other things in a minute. So,
West.
You never know if someone is into having a pain sticks. Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right, Wes. You just never know.
Thanks, West.
We're not judging anybody.
And Don Power Ranger says, I'm so glad the Cowboys did win. Woohoo!
Woohoo indeed. I don't know about your Seahawks, though. It looks like Gino just got hurt. I'm sorry.
Sportsing.
And with those green uniforms, frankly, they deserve to lose every time. Those are hideous, man. Why do they wear those? I mean, they're neon.
Did you see that?
Dave.
Dave!
He gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Dave C. You're too kind, buddy.
Are you new here? Do you want to be a member? Because Dave C. just bought a membership for someone. So go ahead and click on that at the top of the chat. Hopefully it's not gone by now. But Dave, that was incredibly generous of you. Thank you for helping to build up this channel. You the best, baby.
Yeah, Dave. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you kindly. So there you go. Well, so much for a 60th anniversary. Well, we still got the specials that are going to be showing. And last night I did a poll actually saying, are you going to watch the David Tennant specials? They're going to be running 3 specials starting Sunday because David Tennant has returned to the role just for that. Then, of course, next, I think in January or maybe or whatever, what's his face takes over. But it was, let's see, it was pretty close. It was, which one? Now I can't. Can anyone remember which one? I think no won by like 52%, whereas it was 40 something for yes, which I guess didn't surprise me much because David Tennant is beloved, but I don't know if he can. He'll get people in. He'll more than any of the other jerks will. But with Russell T Davies running around there and pissing off fans the past week and a half, even Davies. I mean, it's so. I don't understand any of these people, whether it's Disney, whether it's the Trek people, the Star Wars. They come out and they don't even just come out all the time when they're in it. It's not even just like that It's just like it seems they excel at pissing off fans right when they're about to release something. I mean, they have the worst timing too. Like, wow. Got something big we've been working on for 2 years now. It's coming out next week. Let's go out there and say stupid shit.
Let's treat our audience with absolute disrespect. Let's make sure that we pepper every interview with contempt. And Minimus says the second movie was good. It included Christian Slater. Yeah. What? As a very unlikable Arkansas, David Rudaba, who ended up as a head on a post as a warning to stay out of Mexico. It happened. I try to avoid Christian Slater at every turn.
Even the Trek 6?
Well, his mom was the casting person on that film. That's the only reason. That's the reason he got on Star Trek 6. And yeah, I cannot stand that guy. He's just very annoying.
Yeah. He'd done Heathers before that, and that was his most famous. To this day, probably the most famous, or the best thing. I don't know, or the most famous. I think he's most famous for probably is Heathers. I don't know. I guess he's done it. What is he? I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
His mummy is a casting director. So
yeah.
Wherever his mummy is working, that's where he's working. So, mummy, you better go out there and get yourself some work because your son needs employment.
Thank you, Ezra. That's right. 55% said nay. 43% said yay. And I don't get a vote, but I probably am going to watch him. I know me. At least the first one. I kind of want to see the Celestial Toymaker it's being played by Neil Patrick Harris, whom I like, but I don't know. I saw some trailer with him. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Man, it just hurts me down my soul. I've been a fan of Doctor Who for 41 years.
Ooh, that's a long time.
I mean, and a fan of Star Trek longer than that. And just see these things. And I mean, the Star Trek is maybe my number one, but Doctor Who's right there at number 2. It's something I love as much of that. Just like I love my favorite geek stuff, and I just love it. And look for last night, for example, when I gave my top 25 episodes, I had to do no like recent research on them. I know them that well. I could just sit there and talk about them. I could do that with a few shows, not many. Like for example, if it's a show I hadn't watched in a while. And I'm going to talk about it, I'll go and rewatch it. It's just, obviously. Hey, Zathras.
Hey, nice to see you.
If I've seen it like a few times through, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to talk about it like next week or what have you, then I'm going to definitely. If I could not do any. I mean, I still been like when we're reviewing Blake 7, for example, I never have to bother watching it, but I do because I just love it. So I still watch it that week, the night before we review it.
Just so it feels fresh.
I don't need to.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
But
I know. Trust me, I know.
And if it were Doctor Who, it would be the same deal. Or The Prisoner or Star Trek, the original series. I don't know if there's anything else quite there. A couple like Probe, yeah, and a few other shows like that, like Briscoe and stuff. But a few of them that I would have to go back and I would want to refresh. But they're like that handful of them. If we're going to review the first 2 seasons of Trek or something like that, I mean, I would still do it, but I wouldn't need to. Like if something happened, I got too busy. Wouldn't matter. And I did that I don't think I rewatched very many of those ones in my top 25, but it's just easy to talk about them because I've watched them so many times. But that's neither here nor there. But Minimus is watching B5 right now.
Oh, nice.
That's a
Nice,
great
nice,
show.
nice. Doc Fortune says Christian Slater made a career out of bad Jack
Jack
Nicholson
Nicholson.
impersonations.
That's right.
Yeah,
He
and
did.
now it's the other kid. It was the other kid is doing all the Jack Nicholson. Like he's trying to turn
Yes.
himself into Jack Nicholson. What's his name again?
I don't know, but I
He
knew
was
that.
eating. He was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, Johnny Depp. Not Johnny Depp. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
He is
Good night,
now.
Penny.
Oh, Penny is leaving.
Yes.
Good night, Penny. Thank you so much for making Clobbering Times a part of your evening routine. Sleep sweet,
indeed.
as the
Have a
cool
good one.
kids say, and we will see you soon. I totally agree with Doc Fortune. Christian Slater, that's one of the things that totally annoyed me about him. He was trying to act like Jack Nicholson, and it was super annoying. And when DiCaprio acts like Jack Nicholson, like do you remember when Jack Nicholson got pudgy and he was like fat in the face and he started getting male pattern baldness, and he became super mean
after he played the Joker.
Yeah, I feel like DiCaprio is following, like he's trying to. Anyway, it's hurting. It's hurting for certain, and no one is enjoying it.
I never thought. I can't stand DiCaprio that much, but I've never really thought of him as ripping Nicholson. But it's so obvious with Christian Slater. He tries to talk like that all the time. Excuse me, sir. We've got to communicate from Starfleet Command. That's what they want to know. Or every time he talks, But it was kind of in Heathers, it was very noticeable. But still, the movie was kind of funny, and his character was kind of funny. But it's like, okay, they probably even told him, kind of try to sound like Nicholson a little bit, do a Nicholson stick, which was fine. But then I guess it just got stuck that way. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Nicholson's greatest role of all time for me was in The Last Detail. Yes, I love that movie. Thanks to Minimus, we watched it about 1 million times back in the 80s. But yeah, and he was great as the Joker. I thought. I mean, yes.
I thought he made a great Joker.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Joker. I mean, Heath Ledger played a crazy dude who had his face jammed down on a Mary Kay cabinet. I hated his look, but his performance was good, but it wasn't really. Yeah, sort of Jokerish. Read by Nature. Welcome.
Good evening, Reed.
Slater did the stage version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest round about the same time Rob Lowe was doing the stage version of A Few Good Men. Gotcha.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a book, but I thought that Jack Nicholson did an amazing job in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's probably one of the worst horror movies in the history of horror films. And when I say that, I mean like, intellectual horror. Obviously, everyone here, we're all pretty good friends, and you all know that Clubby and I don't like actual horror. Like Clubby has a saying like, I don't want to watch screaming dead teenagers or whatever. And that's exactly how I feel. I have no time for that sort of thing. But One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that super, super scary. And that will get you right in your spine. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. But I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. He's again, yes. BLBB. He is really great as the Joker. I think it's kind of. But they have it was a very quotable movie. Jack is dead, my friend. You could call me Joker. Oh man, he was.
This town needs an enema.
This town needs an enema.
Yeah. I didn't mind that one. I thought that was good.
Would somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in when a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press?
Yeah.
My favorite, or the best part at the end when toward the end, he goes, Bob. Gun. Why didn't someone tell me I had one of those things? Bob, gun. He answers him and shoots Bob. Yes.
Who said that? Stephen M. Kal-El, The Real Soup, says the scariest movie ever is The Notebook. Yeah. That is a super terrifying book, or a super terrifying film. And the ending absolutely destroyed me. I did not read that book, but what's that guy's name again who wrote that book? Nicholas or whatever. I didn't read the book. I saw the film. So I did not know what to expect. And so at the end, I was so utterly and completely destroyed because, so many of us, spoiler alert, lose our loved ones to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And so the fact that they were together at the end, and it's just, losing your mind. It's a very scary thing. And if you've ever lost someone you love to dementia, the Notebook will destroy you. That's like I don't know what the book was like, but the end of that film, it sticks with you. Like, it stays with you for a really long time, as you realize, wow, when you look at the statistics, that could be you, and it likely will be you in some cases. So, yeah, I feel terrible for anybody who loses their mind and then also has to deal with, being cognizant and their partner is losing their mind, and whether or not to give them up or to stay with them, as they just become a husk. They look and smell and taste when you kiss them like the person who you love, but there's nothing inside of them anymore, or at least that's what they indicate, right? It's a very scary thing, and unfortunately we all have to face death. But I totally agree with you that the end of that movie was horrible, just soul shattering.
What's it called again? The Notebook?
Yeah, The Notebook. I was watching and I was like, this is a dumb love story. Why am I watching this? Because my offspring is the one who told me to watch it, because she actually read the book. So the offspring was like, you need to see this. So I'm watching it and I'm thinking, oh God, this is worse than some dumb Jennifer Aniston movie. So I was like super turned off. But then the last part of the movie, when everything starts to come together and you realize what's happening to this couple, then all of a sudden it's not a sweet romantic story anymore. It's somebody living with this pain of whether or not this person is going to die, and he's looking at the person who he loved his entire life, and when she looks back, she has no idea who he is, and it's incredibly sad. It's just awful.
Wow, I can't believe that came up. Now I'm depressed.
Sorry, I didn't bring it up. Kal-El brought it up. He said it's a good horror movie, and it is. Like, I think for more cerebral people, when you introduce an idea that that is not only like realistic but probable, I find that far more frightening than I find the stupid dead teenager movies. Now I feel bad, Dave. I'm sorry. Clobby, change the subject. Change the subject.
15-yard penalty on you and whoever brought that up.
Oh God.
We're talking about
put Kal-El in the agony booth this time. I've already been in there.
Kal-El, don't bring that kind of. What's wrong with you? Just kidding. Oh, I'm like, Jesus, we've been bummed out enough today.
Sorry.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. Look, there's some stuff I get. I traditionally like upbeat stuff, but there are a lot of things I love that are really, really downbeat. Now, look, Blake 7. There's no way in hell I should love that show as much as I do, considering how downbeat it is. And it is.
It is.
I mean, there's just no two ways about it. It is. It is not. It is the antithesis of Star Trek, and I still love it because I love the characters and the stories and involved with it. But I should not love that thing, and I do.
Nicholas Sparks.
Life is weird. What?
That's the name of the guy who wrote that book. And apparently, like, if you read the book, it will completely destroy you from the inside out. Anyway, Nicholas Sparks. You did it again. If my offspring is happening to listen to this, I remembered the name of the book you told me to read, but I did the film anyway because, anyway.
Another penalty on Raquel is what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm just having fun here, folks. That's all. But yeah, like I said, let's see, there are other things that are pretty pessimistic that I love, but for the most part, I love the optimistic stuff. I mean, you can have the pessimism in there. I mean, look, they're pessimistic endings to some Trek episodes, of course, but that, but just
especially like when you're growing up and like I watched Star Trek when I was really young. I watched Star Trek in the 1970s. That's when I was introduced to it, in the late 1970s. And it scared me. There were episodes that really frightened me, and not just because, oh, the scary aliens. It was the subject matter. And I remember early on in our friendship, you had mentioned that you had said, back in that time, because we were talking about socio-historical context, and you said, well, yeah, back at that time many people did see that as horror. It was, not only was it terrifying for them because we didn't know what was going to happen when we went into outer space, but some of the themes. And then you and I started talking about all of the banned episodes, right? The episodes that were banned in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and in Canada. Some of them all the way into like 1991 to 1993. I'd need to look it up, but I think 91 to 93 it was banned for excessive fear and violence and torture and stuff until the 90s. So Star Trek, it moves you, and it covers some pretty serious subject matter as well. So I totally agree.
Yep. There's some episodes that are somber, that have really great somber endings, like Sitting on the Edge Forever and Charlie X,
Mm-hmm.
But of course, still, it's Trek, and it's optimistic the next week. So there you go.
Oh, you brought up Charlie X.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie X.
Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving. That's when Kirk wanted to make sure we got the turkeys.
And then Gene Roddenberry told him, Captain, we actually have real turkeys, because it was his
They're
voice.
real turkeys.
It was his voice.
Yeah, it was his real voice.
But even better, of course, was WKRP. I wish we could show the clip. This God is my witness. I thought turkeys could fly.
Hey, I miss WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's the greatest Thanksgiving anything filmed ever, including even, I love the Charlie Brown special. There's obviously there's zillions of tons and tons of Christmas stuff that it's entertainment, but there's not a lot of Thanksgiving stuff. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a great movie. That's for example.
Oh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Great movie.
Yes. Two of my absolute favorites, John Candy and Steve Martin. Give me more.
I love that movie. I need to watch it. It's been a while. But that WKRP episode of when Les Nessman is there doing the report like the Hindenburg, and the big guy and Herb Tarlick dropped. Herb Tarlick, they had a promotion thing, and they dropped turkeys on this shopping mall from a helicopter. They were, oh my God, it's turkeys! Oh my God, the humanity!
I think I remember that episode.
Oh God, it's the greatest. And then it's got that immortal line at the end. He's all disheveled, and everyone's really mad at him because I know when Johnny Fever, this just in, whatever mall it's just been, whatever the name of the mall was, it's been bombed by live turkeys. So none of them knew what the promotion was going to be, right? Except the big guy, Mr. Carlson. So he gets home, he gets back to the office, he's all disheveled, and something he went through, and he just, that look, what perfect delivery by Gordon Jump, who was an underrated comedic actor, because as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
I still remember that whole song, like every word of the.
I can't remember the words.
All of the lyrics.
Oh yeah, I know baby. If you've ever wondered, I know the extended version. Even
wondered whatever became of me.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Cincinnati, WKRP.
Yeah, I love that theme song. It was a gooder.
Yeah. Hey, the Woke Breaker.
Hey, Woke Breaker.
Come on, buddy. Got kind of tired of walking,
packing
in, unpacking,
yeah.
Town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in a while. There's another extended version, but I won't go there. WKRAP in Cincinnati. I love the episode where they were sponsoring a concert for this band called the Scum of the Earth.
Yeah.
And Johnny and Andy and Venus all go in there to try to tell them it's time to go on. They decided just because they're jackasses, they won't go on after all the stuff they went through. And they end up having the next shot you saw they're actually on the stage and they're playing, but they're all kind of banged up. And then you see Johnny and Venus and was Andy, and they're all beat up too because they had to kick the guys' asses to make them go on the stage. We're the Scum of the Earth.
Yeah.
That show was brilliant. It was
good
so
stuff.
funny.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Down and down, up and down the dial. Let's see.
And then I wound up going into radio for a while.
Nice. All because of Johnny Fever, huh? No, I'm just kidding. Or Les Nessman.
There's nothing more. There is nothing more satisfying than watching Herb Tarlick walk in the room. Just the suits and the ties. The ties. They just like
Richard
a cross
Bonner.
between graffiti and vomit.
I love DJ Play Nice. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement, folks. I don't know how much longer the crowd is running for their lives. I think I'm going to step inside. Oh, the humanity. He's got the next verse. Heading up the highway, leaving you behind. I have this song, by the way. Hardest thing I ever had to do. Broke my heart too, but baby, pay no mind. The price for finding me was losing you. That's a great song. I love it.
It is a great song. Hey, remember when people were actually creative and there were individual artists and people involved in making pretty things and beautiful things and wonderful things, and now it's just corporate product.
Yep. Bilge. And I also remember when for the while there they weren't able to put up WKRP on DVD or video because song rights tied up, because all the songs that Johnny used to play. But then they finally got it all straightened out and they're out, fortunately. So that was a great show. So.
Venus was funny too.
Oh yeah, Venus Flytrap was great. That guy Tim Reed or whatever he was.
Funny people. Les Nessman was the best, but I mean,
I loved Herb though. You can't have you got to have that kind of character. He's
Burns.
He's Frank Burns. I mean, yeah, he's kind of Frank, but he's not the stuffed shirt type. Where he's sort of Frank Burns is split into Les and Herb. Actually, Herb's more
Frank
of a
Burns
Les, though.
Was more open about all of the Playboys he read.
I mean, I love Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. That was totally uncalled for. Or what's that? Hi, Frank. You wish. Frank, you're not going to call your mother again, are you? There's so many lines. I wish Maddie's daddy was here. We quote MASH first 3 seasons of it, backwards and forwards. You had Lonnie Anderson. Oh, yeah. I like Bailey though. Ooh, the other chick.
Bailey was cute patootie. I mean, Jennifer was great, but Bailey was.
Oh yeah, Bailey was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy was cool. They were all really good characters. I mean, you just get
good characters.
You have a great ensemble cast like that where everybody's good, and I mean, it was great comedy because everybody worked. There's some shows where you like a few people, like Barney Miller was another one. Everybody was perfect on that show. It was so good. I don't know if you ever saw Barney Miller. Taxi was another one that was good at that point.
Taxi was terrific.
I mean, even if you're not into comedies, those were the days where they were really good ones. Of course, Sanford and Son was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't really watch too much Sanford and Son. That wasn't really my cup of tea.
That was one. I mean, I loved Red Fox. And then there was the other day, somebody put a clip on Facebook from an episode of All in the Family that I'm not going to quote any of it because you couldn't play. I mean, we were watching that and I'm laughing my ass off. And there's one with George Jefferson in it before he went and had his own show.
I remember that episode.
And it was an episode where I'll just say this: George Jefferson meets his Lionel, his son's fiance's parents, and I will not go any further. It would, while Archie's there.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing my ass off because wow, this can't even show this anymore. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Oh no, you would never be able to show that today. That would never happen. Read by Nature, Winchester's actor was around for so long. I thought Ogden Stiers was 3 different people. I thought he was terrific
good actor.
in Star Trek. I loved him in Star Trek. I just think he's I didn't like to see the end of Frank Burns because I thought Frank Burns really drove the show. But I do have to tell you that when I was younger, I thought that Winchester was the cat's meow. Like I totally identified with him. He listened to the kind of music that I listened to. And I liked his humor and I liked that he read and I just liked Winchester. But I was young and I thought he was the cat's meow.
He's good.
Yeah.
But it killed kind of, let's face it. I've always said this, comedy is cruel. And it killed kind of some of the cruelty of the show because he could fight back. Frank couldn't. He was way outnumbered. And he couldn't take any one of them in any kind of a, tete-a-tete. But Charles was actually smart and actually clever, even though they had to team up to take him on. But man, with Trapper and even with BJ, picking on Frank was part of the greatness of the show. And man, you lose Henry Blake and then Frank Burns a couple years later, and Potter's okay. But I stopped watching the show after that. Horse hockey.
Yeah. But the original cast was really, like they kept on changing the Trapper character. And
I love Trapper, though. I mean, again, by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen. I love the original movie, and it is way different from the TV show.
It is. It's way different. It's
just different.
Yeah.
But Saul, and again, Menimus could tell you he's read the books. I don't know if we were talking about this just yesterday, and he asked if I'd read the book. I don't know if I have. I thought he gave me a copy. They had a lot. Do you know how many MASH books there were by Richard Hooker, though? There were a ton of them.
Probably a lot.
There were a ton of them, but then the TV, the movie came out and it was just insane.
Yeah.
But Frank, played by Robert Duvall, was different from Frank by Larry Linville. It was still good in the movie, but Larry Linville was underrated as a comedic actor.
I 1000% agree. I loved his vacant lot look when he would be when when they would pick on him and he couldn't even, like, you could see him as an actor pretending like the cogs were turning as he was trying to figure out what Pierce and McIntyre were saying to him.
Yeah, he was a Puritan and a fool.
Yeah. And just that vacant stare where you knew he was a complete nincompoop. Yeah. And when they would make fun of him, like that guy is a hell of an actor.
Wow, DJ's read him. Okay, MASH Goes to Maine was his favorite. I know there was a MASH Goes to New Orleans. There were a few of them, and again, Minimus has them all probably.
Nice.
He probably already went to bed. But I remember I don't know if I read some of his or not way back, but I know he had them. I can't remember now because he was asking me if I read the first book yesterday, and I don't remember. However, I do know that. No, I may have, unless it was just him telling me, because there's a legend that Robert Altman used that book for them and didn't use an actual screenplay or a script. I don't know if no one ever knows if it's true or not, which would be weird, but he's weird. I mean, Robert Altman was a weirdo.
Yeah, I don't profess to know too much about that. I grew up of modest means, so whatever was on the television with the 4 channels we had and no cable, that's what was on television. Unless, of course, I grew up in a band, so unless, of course, we were at a hotel or a motel and we were at a gig, and then, of course, we had cable. So whatever was on and whatever you could get with the rabbit ears, using tinfoil like aluminum foil and the rabbit ears, or worse, a coat hanger. That's what you watched.
Yep. Wow, DJ's got a bunch. He says 5 or 6. There were a lot of them, I guess. That's very cool though. Great, man. DJ knows the stuff. That's cool. It's good. I'm glad we meet you. That's cool. And he knows that old stuff like that. Let's see. What was it? What was that? I forgot where I was going. That's all right. It always happens. Crap. Something with the movie.
Oh,
it's gone now.
It's
gone now.
No, that the guy who originally played Frank Burns was that he was a wonderful actor.
No,
but you said the guy in the film, he did a good job, but
no, I lost it. Trust me, I lost it. No, I lost it. If I'm to that point now, if I'm saying something and it doesn't get to transpire, it's gone now.
Oh crap! I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. No, I'm just telling you, this is the way I am. I mean, you should not be that way. But if I have to like switch attention to something else, boom.
No, I'm so sorry.
No. It's my Alzheimer's. It's nothing to do with you.
Oh, don't say you have Alzheimer's. You're going to scare me.
Definitely I do. Oh, good Lord. I mean, I know that. Yes, sir. A little bit earlier than some people, but that's okay. That's the way it happens, right?
No.
I still remember stupid crap like we're talking about all this stuff talking about the old day. Yeah, I mean, so.
Yeah.
But the movie. I found it. Wow, weird. We got back to it. Let me try not to lose it. Xavier Altman made MASH in 1970.
Yeah.
He made one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. I think Minimus and I are the only people that's ever seen it. In fact, and even though Rene Auberjonois was in it, because as he is in MASH, and everybody in MASH is in it. It's a movie called Brewster McCloud. Pattis!
Hey, good evening,
What's up,
Pat.
buddy?
Happy Thanksgiving.
DJ, any of you ever see Brewster McCloud? It came out the same year as MASH. MASH was nominated for Best Picture, and it was beaten on. As much as it deserved it, I don't know. Patton beat it, and Patton was great. So, don't know if you've seen Patton, but
I have not.
Oh, well, I mean, but the original MASH I love, but Patton maybe. Anyway, Brewster McCloud, anybody? What's going to be crickets? Watch.
No, maybe DJ Play Nice, and if Minimus is still here.
Minimus, yeah, I know. Like I said, he and I are the only ones
And
ever seen it.
also Larry, if
Had
Larry
an email
Larry's still
conversion
here.
of several months. Conversation with for several months with Larry Gilbart. I got him some of my deepest MASH questions answered, and got to pick his brain about. That's fantastic, DJ. Larry Gilbart, when he left, and he made the show funny. The show just became the Alan Alda show later.
I 100% agree with that, and it also became the comedy diminished significantly. You know what I mean? Like with Winchester, you saw the compassion of him being this incredibly skilled surgeon, and he was even a better surgeon than Hawkeye. And so, but I just think that you needed Frank Burns to pick on him because he wasn't talented. He was cold-hearted. He was a nincompoop. And so, yeah. And then Alan Alda became incredibly preachy, and it was very hard to watch some episodes. You know, I don't know how you feel, but at the end, I was like, okay, I'm done watching this now.
I got to tell you, after Frank left, I have no interest in it. And even, actually, Hawkeye and losing Hawkeye and losing Trapper and Henry. I mean, that was killer. But I could sort of, at least Frank was still there, so it was still kind of okay. But when he's gone, and even still, third season, I bought the first 3 seasons on DVD a long time ago and never bought any of the other ones. And I'm talking long ago, back in, like when they were first coming out with DVDs. And my son, of course, was hooked on it. He would watch those over and over again. He loved them. And so, but yeah, no, it's just, to me, it was a comedy then, and it became something else. So I love the movie and the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But
if it becomes a vehicle for, if anything that you are writing becomes a vehicle to sort of chide, castigate, shape, it's I don't. It is hyperdidacticism, and as an editor, I try and steer people away from that. I try and let them know, these aren't the writings of the Catholic Church in the 1600s. Your story should, allow people to think for themselves, but I don't know why people engage in that sort of thing, because it doesn't last long and it doesn't do well. People don't enjoy it. Even if they agree with the content, it's just most unenjoyable.
Yep. Oh, well, West has heard of Brewster McCloud, and I think the McCloud Crow T robot used to talk about Pat was something else. So, but yeah, it's a shame. It was a great show, though.
It was. Yeah, DJ Play Nice. I'm a scholar, and my training is in communications and technology, but my undergraduate degree is in professional and academic writing, and my area of specialization is editing, technical writing and editing and stuff like that. So I'm a nerd. I'm not a geek. So I know about books and publishing and writing and caring for the audience and stuff like that. But I really rely on my geek friends to teach me about film. I don't know anything about film. I haven't had a lot of exposure to film, and I certainly don't memorize films like my geek friends do. Like Clobby, to me, it's like watching an episode of the Flintstones, and he's the grand poobah because he just has his brain. It's like an encyclopedia of all of these beautiful films and television shows that he's watched. And I can't do that. I have that relationship, but that relationship is with books. So yeah, anyways. Hyperdidacticism is, and you probably already know what it means, but I'll just throw it out there. It's actually a term that we use in editing when an author or authors get together and they use they use what you're watching or what you're reading to instruct you, to over instruct you, to make you feel guilty, to make you feel as though you should do this. This is your only political decision. These are your only political or religious thoughts. And it is something that has been used by religious people in the past, where you would write poetry or you would write short stories or even whole novels that would be these long instructions for or even allegories for how you should live your life and how you should think. And when that's done by a corporation, it's even worse than when it's done by an individual, because of course you can't have a corporation shaping your personal beliefs about religion, politics, or anything of the like. That's not the job of the corporation. So yeah, you'll hear me use the word hyperdidacticism a lot. I don't like it, especially when if it's done by an individual author, they will get torn apart by the public. Let the public do it. But when it's a corporation doing it, I find it really scary, because it's something is happening with it. It's a mechanism that destroys culture, and it tries to control society. In sociology, in communication theory, we call that hegemony, which is this is just philosophy and sociology. And hegemony is when you try to dominate what somebody thinks and what somebody feels, and to use arts and entertainment for that is really, really, really wrong, and it will tear our society apart, as we're witnessing now with much of the stuff that's coming out of Hollywood, with Hollywood trying to use corporations to flex and shape culture entirely, our thoughts on politics, religion, art, everything. And it's a disaster. I don't know how you feel about it, but I consider it a total unmitigated disaster.
Minimus, you got a link. I don't know how you're blocked. I don't know what you mean by being blocked, but I sent you the other. There's no way you could be blocked. There he is. What do you mean blocked? You there? It might be muted. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Are you there?
DJ Play Nice, that's amazing. That's really cool. If you're just listening in, and you're not participating in the chat, DJ Play Nice just said my undergrad degree is Writers Workshop, English and Secondary Ed Language Arts. Did editing for a local weekly, but other than that, I've never worked in those fields. I still do editing occasionally. That is so cool, DJ Play Nice. Wicked. It is Grim. Such a pleasure to have you here. I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Welcome. Hey, Grim, what's up? What about now?
Grim.
Minimus. I heard some noise from your mic, but I can't hear you if you're talking.
I heard some scratchies.
Yeah.
Minimus, do you have lice?
You must be messing with his microphone.
Might be.
How about
now? Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
What kind of what do you want?
That little thing that flashes out whenever you're talking? I couldn't spot it at first. I was looking down at your Doctor. I was looking down at your Doctor Who, and I've got this like Star Trek thing up there, and I thought, that's him, but no, that's me. I'm sorry. I've had too much junk food today, and actually no turkey, because secret, I don't like turkey.
So are you on the phone doing it from the phone or what?
No, the phone sucks. I'm doing it from the headphone thingy, and I don't know if that works or not. My Pam uses it all the time when I'm trying to ignore her being online.
All right.
So she may have torn them up. I've got another headset somewhere in the house, but again, I don't know where she put them.
Parker, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey,
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Redstone
Happy
also.
Thanksgiving.
But apparently, you're not the only communist here, because so is Max Redstone. You know, anybody who hates turkey's a commie.
Why? How do you hate turkey? What is wrong? You are broken.
I've been denied turkey most of my life. When I was a kid, I saw how big that freaking leg was, and I wanted one. And for some like 5 or 6 years in a row, I got none. And then my mother takes a slice and said, "Here, have this," and she poured gravy on it and gave me like a piece of cornbread or something, and that was my turkey. And I was really looking forward to this because I was a kid with a little mouth. This is a long time ago, and there was a big turkey leg.
Yeah.
And the next time I saw one was when I was walking around the state fair with my son, and they were selling turkey legs for like $4.
And they're humongous at the fair.
Yeah, so I bought one and immediately dropped it on the ground.
No.
We were passing it. No, we were passing it back and forth, and I let him take the first bite at it, and he goes to hand it back to me, but he forgot to say "here."
Yeah.
And it just went boom on the ground, and somebody had just mown the grass of that field. And there was like gravel and dirt and grass. I don't know if that would have been a flavor enhancer, but I wasn't going to try it.
You had an Eddie Murphy moment. I got ice cream.
Yeah, yeah.
I got ice cream.
It's just pretty good.
So DJ, that's pretty cool. I said that first time here. Follow the recommendation of our wonderful friend and communications specialist,
Hey.
Jill. So we love Jill.
Jill.
We love Jill. So she's not here, is she? No.
No, I don't.
Oh, she's probably Thanksgiving still.
She is.
Or recovering. So yeah. All right, and JT Kirk, that's true. We got you covered.
We got McDonald's. DJ play nice.
Are
Got
they open?
McDonald's.
Are they open?
You can. It's hard to keep McDonald's closed for more than a couple hours a day.
It's hard to keep,
especially since all they have is drive-through. Oh, I'm going to tell you. I don't know if I told you this, Clubby, but a few months ago, Pam decided she's going to drive through Burger King. So she gets up to the window because nobody was answering at the intercom, and the lady opened the window and said, "I'm sorry, we can't sell anything. I'm the only one here."
Well, okay.
And that's not the only place. McDonald's did that for about a minute, and Taco Bell, because they couldn't hire anybody.
I love Taco Bell. I'm not allowed to eat any of these things anymore because my doctor has told me that I have to stop eating like I'm 18 years old. So I've been skinny my whole life. And so I've never had to worry about being overweight. But the thing is that even if you're thin, if you eat too much of that stuff, evidently it gives you high blood pressure. So I got into big trouble this year.
That's where I got mine.
And I was told that I am no longer allowed to eat in restaurants or any type of fast food. Oh. And because I have my doctor is extremely cute. Like, she is very beautiful. And she's
Romulans can't process beef anyway.
She has a very thick accent from the UK. And she just told me that I wasn't allowed to have any chips and gravy either.
What? No chips and gravy?
No chips and gravy.
Astonishing. I can't believe that.
Yeah, so she.
Are you sure she's a real doctor?
She knows. I consume so much gravy that if I fell off my front step and broke my leg in a compound fracture, gravy would come out of my leg. So I am now reformed. I haven't had any junk food since August, and I do not want to upset the gorgeous and brilliant doctor who told me I'm no longer allowed to have chips and gravy.
Oh, can I dedicate my next chalupa to you then?
Yes, please. Do that. Right. I love chalupas too.
Chalupas have you seen what they've done to tamales lately?
No.
The tamales they used to be long and they were filled with beef and sauce and maybe covered with some kind of either cheese or chili sauce, and they were delicious. There's one really good Mexican restaurant about 12 miles from my house, and for some reason, everybody now is serving shredded beef inside of this little square pastry,
Mm.
and I don't call it a tamale.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I ordered tamales and I got that, and it's happened twice. So I'm guessing I'm out of the loop when it comes to Mexican food.
When I come down there to, when I bring the family down to meet Clobby, I am going to break just with the doctor's orders just one time, because I would
Well, you have
absolutely
to.
love to. Well, yeah, because I mean, come on, it's Louisiana, but
Mhm.
and I absolutely love all Louisiana style food, the Cajun, everything, the French, all of it. Anyway, I would love to go where Clobby goes for chicken.
Oh God, which one?
It's the one that has the
Raising
basket.
Cane's you might be talking about.
Raisin
Yeah,
Cane's? Yeah, they're
yeah.
good.
That looks
Hey,
amazing.
promise me you'll do one thing on the way
What is
down
this?
here. It's all I'm going to ask.
What?
Eatery?
Play Holiday Road about 15 times. Or Life is a Highway. Either one of those. You have to play it until your
No, Tom
husband.
Cochran. I hate Tom Cochran.
No,
And
no,
how
not
do you
Tom
even know
Cochran.
about Tom Cochran?
Who is the shoot? What's the band who did it in Cars, the Disney movie Cars?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Oh, they were really good. No, Tom Cochran looks like he wants to eat your face when he's doing his little. He's standing on a rock. It's like he's waiting for the Gorn to show up. He's out in the desert and he's pretending to play the guitar. And
How do
he's.
you know about these Canadian things, Minimus?
I'm very old, Raquel. I'm 60. I've been to Canada. I thought you knew that. I was gonna live in Canada about 79 or 80.
Yeah.
And that fell through because I couldn't get a sponsor.
Oh.
So
Well,
I'm
that's
here.
a shame. I would have sponsored you.
Well, you were born.
It's true. It's true. Well, no, you're not that much older than me. You were a teenager.
No, I was 19 or 20 back
Yeah,
then.
and she was definitely alive.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was definitely alive. I'm
you
older
probably
than you
weren't
think.
eligible.
I just
No,
look
you
young.
Well, no.
But
I applied for a
yeah,
job. I
Raising
applied.
Cane's looks
Oh
so
yeah,
good. I
it
don't
is.
even know how to handle it.
You need to dip the sauce. I mean, dip the Texas toast into the sauce, or the
I know.
fries into the sauce,
Oh God.
or just drink the sauce.
I would seriously drink the sauce. Clobby showed me pictures. I'm like, how is that
Well,
even real? How is that even real? Like, it just looks so delicious. It's stupid. I would probably die if I lived there because I would eat that every day.
You die with a smile on your face and some
Mhm.
kind of strange, sweet odor coming out of your mouth. Your husband would go, "One last kiss goodbye, my dear," and he'd go, "Oh wow,
Oh goodness, oh
get
goodness.
me a bucket of that."
Yes, yes. So it's gonna be fun. Can't wait to get down there. I gotta hang out with you guys. So if you didn't have turkey, what'd you have?
I didn't really have much of anything. We got home. I was just dead tired. Barely slept last night. I think some of you know that I have terrible insomnia.
Yes, you do.
So I remember looking over the clock and seeing 3:30.
Jeez, what are you doing up
And then, well, then I just sort of woke up, and it was 10 minutes after 7. So I thought, well, at least I got a little bit of sleep. So I get up, I come in here, I listened to Loki this morning,
Yeah.
Mornings of Mischief. And then my wife wakes up. She doesn't get up in the morning. She's not a morning. I've let her sleep until it was dark again. Yesterday she slept until about 5:30 in the afternoon, and it gets dark here around 5. So
Yeah.
she got up this morning at 7:30, and she comes in here. What are you doing? I'm pointing at the screen. This is what I'm doing.
Mm.
And I said, all right, she's up. It's her watch. I'm going back to bed. So somewhere around 8 o'clock, I drifted off again. And then at 11:22, because I turned around and looked at the clock, she said, okay, it's time to get up. Why? She said, we have to go to the relative's house for the Thanksgiving thing. I
I
said,
think that's terrific.
and I was like 6 again. I said, give me 10 more minutes. So
I'm happy you went because on Twitter you were putting up pictures of your grandkids, and
Oh yeah,
they are the
they're
most
not there. I mean, they'll
gorgeous
be here
little
tomorrow.
people. They are
My
gorgeous little people, like truly,
yeah.
truly. Like I'm not just, like some people are like, "Oh, you have a cute baby," and the baby like looks like Jello. I really mean it. Like your grandkids are so gorgeous. They're like
Yeah.
little supermodels.
The
So did you go over and eat with them?
no, they're my son is bringing his family tomorrow,
Oh, okay,
and
good.
I like to call her my last granddaughter. My youngest granddaughter is coming, and on the phone, it's either she wants to talk to me or Pam, and it's always me. But when I called yesterday, my son said, "Do you want to talk to Papa?" And she said, "No."
Oh
She's
no.
she's 4. Okay, I said, "Well, how you wanted to call my wife?" She calls her Mimi. I said, "Well, how about Mimi?" She said, "Yeah." And so I
Aw.
walked into the kitchen with a speakerphone on, and they talked. But she'll be here tomorrow, and she won't be able to avoid me.
Well, that sounds like a beautiful Thanksgiving, and I do have to
Uh,
say that I enjoy how you reflect on Twitter and make it um, um, a more beautiful place by showing your gratitude all the time and talking about how much you
well,
love your family. I just think that that's wonderful, and I'll bet that spills over into your Thanksgiving. So
is
thank you
is
for
it
sharing the beautiful pictures and for loving your beautiful family. And I'm so happy that you had a great Thanksgiving.
is it out of place to address something like that here? Gratitude.
Go ahead.
All right, Clobby's gonna get pissed off at me.
Oh no! Well, then all bets are off. You have to ask the
No,
boss.
he hates it when I say nice things about him.
Oh yeah, I know. I get in trouble too.
What
He actually put me in the agony booth, and you put poop in there
I
with
I
me.
live in the agony booth. I go in there. I go in there with a mojito in the agony booth. All right, and he's probably really sleeping right now.
No, he's not. He's
Anyway,
dancing with his lips, which means that
so
he wants to.
when I moved to Baton Rouge, from Jackson, Louisiana, which is like a half-hour drive away.
Hey, Mazeris.
Um,
Hey, buddy.
Maze.
hey,
Maze
whoever
is
you
sick.
are. Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Mazeris?
it's Mazeris. Yeah, and
Okay.
he said he's sick with a fever and food poisoning. Honey, I
Oh
Oh,
love you.
no.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, dude.
that was me about 6 months ago. I was miserable. Do everything your doctors tell you, and drink lots of water, and don't get up out of the bed until you have to get rid
You
of
had
that
to go to
water.
the hospital because you
Yeah.
tried to play Captain America, and that didn't work out
Uh,
too well for you,
it
did it,
wasn't
Maze?
my idea. I didn't know what was wrong with me. We got to the emergency room, and the security guard basically pulled me out of the back seat of my car where I was laying down and put me in a wheelchair. So I go inside, and my wife is parking the car. So I'm sitting there in a wheelchair next to the check-in booth, and the lady said, "Name?" And I went, "Bleh!"
Oh,
And then she gave it another shot. She said, "Name?" And yet again, I went, "Bleh!" And I did it like 3 or 4 times. I think she finally gave up on it. And then my wife comes in. She goes, "What's going on?" And she said, "What's his name?" And I had taken some kind of anti-nausea stuff
yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
purple. You know what? It came up purple.
Gross.
It looked like I had been binging Kool-Aid. Uh, it was not. It was the absolute
Grody to the
opposite
max, man.
of the most fun day that I had. This was the worst. It was the exact opposite. But back to the thing. Gratitude, if not for Clobby, I probably might have moved back to my little small town because I had no friends. I met one guy, and we were like buds, and we were both wanting to be actors, and then we kind of drifted apart because he really wanted it a lot more than I did.
Mhm.
And at some point, another friend who I'd met down here, Clobby knows him, a guy named David, brought me over to the comic shop that he worked at. So I'm in there, and the first thing I see is Clobby standing there with a freaking
40
Doctor
years
Who
ago, by the
scarf
way.
around his neck, arguing with another guy that I've known since then. They were calling each other
Don't say
Adric.
don't say
No,
the other word, but we're calling each other.
no Adric. They were calling each other Adric. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say the other word.
The Dr.
But
Who.
I just thought this is funny. I wish I knew these guys. And then David says something like, "Yeah, they're weirdos," and then he goes and spends $40 on the script for Conan the Barbarian. I get in the car with it.
I didn't price it.
No, I get in the car with it. And I'm flipping. And I go clang slash die clang clang clang. Oh, this is worth $40. And the guy, the idiot, bought like he'll tell you this. He bought a button. It was a black and white picture of Tom Baker as the doctor, and it said $4 rare. Of course, it was rare. The guy made it there in his shop.
Yeah, not me.
No, not you. You were an
I was
unwilling
working there.
pawn. You were a pawn in the game of life.
Oh my
But I went there a lot. I got to know him. I got to know some other people, and I got more comfortable with strangers. And I think I airbrushed a shirt for him. Probably the Five Doctors. Was that it? Oh no, it was
No,
Mr. Spock and the Doctor, the Fourth Doctor, and the Fourth Doctor is trying to make a Vulcan salute, and he's saying that hurts worse than regeneration.
very obscure Trek Doctor
Yeah.
Who mixed references, but it was popular with certain crowds at the time, of course.
I love Clobby so much that he is one of the rare people that I've met in my life who I wish I would have met sooner.
Hmm.
And I actually had an opportunity to know him for 4 years, but I didn't answer him right away because I wasn't sure what to make of it. I had never been on Twitter before, and I wasn't sure what to make of it. And lots of men at that time, because I had an open account, they were sending me lots of things. And I wasn't sure what to make of it. But when he got a hold of me and he was like, "Hey, let's hang out," I actually had the opportunity to be on Blog Talk Radio, and I went over there and I listened to him on Blog Talk Radio. And I figured out that he was everything that he said he was.
Yeah.
And so right when I was able to get together with him, and because I was still working at the college at the time, by that time he was on YouTube. And so I finally got to hang out with him 3 years ago. But I love him so much. He's the kind of guy who I wish I would have known for way longer.
He's got the brain the size of a planet, and he knows everything about geekdom. Shut up and listen to me. I'm complimenting you. When Blake 7 started down here, I think he probably saw the first of them and said, I don't know, I'm not gonna waste time on this.
Oh, this story,
So,
great.
I was into it, and our friend Scott was into it. We went and
Yeah.
saw Paul Darrow, Michael Keating in New Orleans. We had a great time, and came back and told him what a great time we had. So
Yeah.
then he proceeds to start watching Blake 7. Now, I'm betting that even the people who created and produced Blake 7 don't know as much about the show as he does.
I agree.
I don't know that much, really.
I agree,
Yeah,
because
oh,
one time
please.
I walkie-talkied him and I told him that I was like extremely upset. And because he knows me and he knows Blake 7 so well, he actually named the episode at the exact moment and knew the dialogue while we were on our walkie-talkies. And it blew me away because he was like, I actually think you're really going to like Blake 7. I don't want to oversell you on it because then you probably won't like it, but give it a watch. And it totally blew me away because I walkie-talkied him at, I don't know, like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was like, I cannot believe that this just happened. And he's like, I know what episode you're on. And then he started quoting the dialogue on the walkie-talkie. And I'm like, oh my God, Chloe.
That was Pressure Point, by the way, the death of Game.
He does. See? He does know it, and he knows that. But the thing about Blake 7 was I kind of fell away from it, but if I fall away from it, I forget some of the stuff. And then I mentioned something to him. Said, "Oh yeah, that was Power." I went, "What? You know the title of it? Where's the one? Hey, all right, let's watch this. What's the one where the Blake clone survives and stays on the planet?
Weapon.
What? See, and that's when it was all over with.
Chris Boucher,
not spoiling it for anybody, but when it was over and it came to the conclusion we all know it came to, I don't know if it was him, but I heard somebody say, well, he can always come back. And yeah, he could.
Avon lives.
Well, I'm
Avon
not even
does
talking
live.
about Avon. I'm talking about Blake.
Oh, you're talking about Blake. Yeah. Sorry, I was
The
I
clone.
turned my attention to the chat for Two Wags of a Puppy's Tail and got myself lost in the conversation. I do that sometimes, Minimus. I'm sorry. It's because I put so much focus on the chat. Mazarus says walkie-talkie. Yeah, Mazarus, in my master's thesis for the university, I talk about how the evolution of communication. So we had Cooper that saw Captain Kirk with his communicator, and so he said, I'm going to make a cell phone. I'm going to put the guts in that. I'm going to make a cell phone. And then through cell phones, we use them as conventional telephones, and then we had smart. Now we have smartphones that are capable of doing all these wonderful things. But what I found really interesting for communication historiography is the fact that that you can now, one of the most popular ways to use a cell phone is actually in the exact same manner that we use walkie-talkies. Yep. So in my master's degree, in my master's thesis, I talk about the fact that we went through this entire process of evolution and wound right back up at walkie-talkies. Because remember, the communicator was inspired by that idea of the military walkie-talkie. So we started with a walkie-talkie and we ended with a walkie-talkie. And in my thesis, I talk about how the millions or the billions of people who use that WeTalk, I believe it's called WeTalk, where they just hold up their cell phone and use it like a walkie-talkie. Yeah. And when Claudia and I hang out, we actually have a chat with MARC, and we actually use our cell phones like walkie-talkies, 100%. So we hold it up and we use WhatsApp and we shoot the breeze. So we have a great deal of fun. But the walkie-talkie, I love that you picked up on that. You are very clever. And yes, it involves communication historiography. Wow. Start with a walkie-talkie, end with a walkie-talkie. So why did we need all the bullshit in between? No, I'm kidding.
I thought I was using soup cans, actually. You ever done that? Here's a hole at the bottom of a soup can, put a string in it, tie a knot in it, pull it tight. Do the same thing to another and stretch it out as far as you can. It's got to be tight. You talk into it. Your voice travels down the string. The other person can hear it. Now, granted, it's more like, instead of saying, hi, how's it going? It's like, and they can talk back to you.
Yes.
I always do too, but there's always soup in it, so I can't hear anything. I didn't know you were supposed to take the soup out of it first.
Get out of here, Claudia.
Weird.
Yeah, especially when you put it up to your ear and the soup drains into your brain.
Yeah, it's always been a problem, though.
Chicken soup can fix anything.
It's true. It's true. And so can ginger ale. Just ask any Irish mother. If you're sick in any way, just drink ginger ale. Ginger ale solves everything.
Still got 2 12-packs of ginger ale left. Berner's ginger ale. They supposedly either stopped making it or they keep it regional, but they stopped shipping it down here. So my daughter, couple of months ago, bought me 4 12-packs of it.
Oh,
and
all right, DJ.
Ginger ale?
Good night, DJ. We really enjoyed having you here. Now, I hope you will come back sometimes.
DJ Play Nice says, I got to roll out. First time in the chat for me tonight. Thanks for hosting, Clobby. Y'all be safe. Have fun. Take care of your crew and rock. Oh, so definitely a fan of Motley Crue. DJ Play Nice, on behalf of everyone here at CLOBBERIN Times, welcome. And we hope you had a wonderful time. And please feel free to come back anytime. We really enjoyed your company. So good night, my friend, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for being here. Yep, absolutely, Isness. Yes, indeed.
12-pack of what now? JT Kirk, Minimus likes ginger ale.
Berner's ginger ale. I don't be offended by this, but I do not like Canada Dry.
That's okay.
He likes it when Canada's wet, not dry.
Yeah. I'll go up there in a thunderstorm and drink their ginger ale. But I started drinking, I hated ginger ale my whole life. But when I moved to Toledo in 99, somebody said, have you tried this? No, I don't like ginger. Try this. You'll like it. And a friend of mine said when he was sick, his mother used to give him saltines and ginger ale.
Yeah.
I said, well, I understand that. My mother used to give me 7-Up and saltines. So I tried. It was good, and it still is.
Vicks Vapor Rub,
RR.
Yeah.
7-Up or ginger ale, and crackers. Yes, RRTNZ.
What's up? Thank you for the super chat. RR, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to American folks. Well, thank you. It's always great to have you here, and I really appreciate you. By the way, was it? Oh, Max. Wow, you get the 5 doctors on Laserdisc. You really collecting old Laserdiscs? You have a player?
Wow.
Man, that's
Did
pretty
they put
cool.
it on Laserdisc?
I don't know. I guess he said yeah. I'm according to this. Yeah.
Well, if it's Max,
is it a double-sided one or what? You have a player, Max, or you just like collecting?
He must.
That's. I mean, you had one. Remember?
Well, the video disc. I didn't have Laserdisc. The video disc is the kind that you slid it into the player and pulled it out, and it or I don't even remember if you pulled it. You slid it in, and it played, and it would say turn to other side.
Yeah, you had to
turn
it over.
First one I got of those was Star Trek: The Menagerie.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I had that with Amadeus, but I had that on DVD when I bought my first copy of Amadeus.
You liked Amadeus?
It's one of the funniest movies, and it was one of the cutest takes on Mozart, and it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. So I ran out and bought it.
Yeah.
And I still have it, and of course it's exactly like you said with the Laserdiscs. Halfway through the movie, it's like, please turn over CD or DVD.
It was a video version of an 8-track.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Clunk. Unclunk.
So Max, are you just what are you doing, man? You going? You contact people on eBay or something, just trying to get collect those? I didn't even know any Doctor Who was on Laserdisc. It makes sense, I guess. Larry says Laserdisc or best home video until DVD. Yep.
Are they region free? Because I think they might be.
I don't know.
Larry is having difficulty with the chat. Everyone, he's not ignoring you. So just if you begin a conversation with Larry, he can't really he can't see what you're saying. So I think his chat is blanking out, which happens to me all the time. So he's throwing comments out there, and he's saying maybe you can see mine, but he can't see the chat. So it happens sometimes, unfortunately.
Yep. Well, okay.
You could open another window and mute the sound, and he might be able to read it.
Had the original trilogy. That's true. That the only way to get the theatrical cut of the original film Star Wars is it's on a Japanese Laserdisc, which they transferred that to the last DVD release back in the 2000s of when they came out on the movies came out on DVD as a special feature.
Yeah. No chapter breaks, but it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, but Maze, I found them too expensive. Like I just, and that's one of those things that you hear me talk about a lot is people overstating their access to technology. And I know that some people aren't doing it on purpose, but some people are. They try and overplay their access to different IPs and the various ways you would watch them. And I don't know how much laser discs were at that time, but I remember the player was ridiculously expensive. Like a normal person couldn't afford it. And
they all were at the beginning.
Good evening.
Stanley, I don't think you've ever been here before, so welcome. It's nice to see you. It says Laserdisc. It is Laserdisc. Everything is better on Laserdisc. There you go.
Laserdisc.
Believe it or not, Clobby will tell you, I had a Betamax.
Yeah.
And the line resolution was better on that than anything.
VHS.
It was way better. But I was actually so poor. Like I had a very impecunious childhood. But to say the least, that's no hyperbole. So what we used to do is we actually used to rent the beta or the VHS from the Red Rooster. And the Red Rooster, it was like a local store here. Oh. And so you would write them like a $200 or $300 or $400 check, like an actual check from a bank.
Yeah.
And you would leave that with them with your license. And then they would give you a giant box that looked like it's out of some type of James Bond film, and you would bring it home. So my exposure to beta was because the folks at the Red Rooster, and we were kids, we used to call it Red Ripoff. If you go to Red Ripoff, that's what they had. But then they eventually moved to VHS. So I agree with Maze. VHS was our friend, but I did see the same thing you saw, Minimus. I did enjoy the beta, the beta vision. It was called initially, and the picture was amazing. And with the beta vision or the Betamax, you didn't have to track as much. Like with the VHS, I noticed that once, like the more you rented the VHS, the more you would need the tracking until they developed auto tracking. You remember how you used to have to move the dial in the front?
Yeah.
Huge pain in the butt. Huge pain in the butt.
Muslim Uncle.
Hey, your Muslim Uncle.
Good
Good evening.
Members for 13 months. Thank you. Hail Thanksgiving, Clubby and CLOBBERINs. Thank you, sir. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You and your great family. It's good to see you here, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Indeed. He had Aliens on Laserdisc, eh? Oh no, he saw Alien Laserdisc. Oh. The guy who owned it let me copy it to VHS in the TV media room. There you go. Coolness.
Well, when I bought my Betamax, I bought it in Clobby knows the place here is called New Generation. It cost way too much, but I felt like I needed one. So a few weeks later, I go in and I buy my first tape. My very first tape cost $64.95.
Yeah.
It was The Night Stalker. And I felt like I needed that movie on tape. And that was the only thing I had for a long time. And then I found out, hey, you can copy these, but you had to have, you could either copy stuff off of TV or go from player to player. Yep. And they shouldn't have told me that, because I ended up buying every freaking blank DVD blank tape that I could find. I had dozens of them when Evil First Wife decided to have a garage sale. She gave me overnight to record all of my Star Treks onto VHS. And that's what I was doing when the guy got there. And I had this giant box. Not just Star Trek, but I had a bunch of really good movies. And I should have told her, okay, let's go ahead and cut to the chase. Let's get the divorce now. Because she sold my player, my box of like probably 80 to 100 tapes for $15.
Get out of here.
I will, but
I like what you said, because you're telling the truth. Like when you look to communication historiography, you know whether or not if somebody's actually experienced what they're saying, and the prices that you're saying are 100% true. Same with Maze. So Maze is saying that his mother paid $60 for a tape in 1983, and it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, when people say this is very close to the truth. And I really love what you said earlier, Minimus, about how you had just that one tape. And it's because it was so much money. Like, I wish that D. Bud Martin, I wish that he was here, because I would like to account for inflation, because I remember being in Canada, those tapes that you guys were paying $59.99 for and $69.99 for, those were like $89 in Canada. And I would love to know what, to account for inflation, just how much they would have been. Because, I just remember thinking to myself, this technology is so expensive. And there were people who thought it wasn't going to take off because it was so expensive.
When I bought Night Stalker, like I said, I go into the store, and brought it up to the counter, and the girl took it out of the package and started to put the tape in a plastic box. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, this is how we rent them." I said, "No, I want to buy it." And she said, "Really?"
Yeah.
Like, why would anybody want to buy a videotape? And
true.
I didn't explain it to her, but she's just sitting there unwrapping my beta tape, which I should have been able to do at home. Bitch, sorry, but that was mine, and I was ready to spend $64.95 on the damn thing.
Yep.
And I got it home to my waiting Betamax that had really done nothing.
Can I ask a question to everyone here, because it's not something I've ever looked into? I distinctly remember hearing beta vision when beta vision first came out, and this was a term that I heard quite a lot in Canada. Was beta vision the means in which they recorded onto the tape? Because tape is basically
Macrovision?
rust on a piece of plastic. So it was the term beta vision a means at which to address the way the film was recorded, and then the Betamax was the player. I'd love to be schooled by some geeks on this because I'd love to know.
As a person who owned 5 Betamax machines, I would say that's what it is.
Yeah.
But they all had what they called copy protection. It was called macrovision, and that was supposed to make the picture better, but it was also supposed to make it impossible for you to copy. Well, guess what? They can't sit there and copy guard every single tape that goes through. I think what they did was they randomly put copy protection on. Like I tried to record RoboCop when it came out, and it would go black and it would come out really bright. While they could tell I was recording, it would go way down, and the volume stayed the same. But another film, I hesitate to say this, but don't judge me. Dirty Dancing. I was able to record Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing.
Why would you do
don't
that to yourself?
Don't make me say that again.
Did Bobby walk over to your house and kick you in the shins?
I was probably 25 or so. But I didn't know any better. Oh, remember? Hey, tell her all the wonderful titles of the videos that people got wrong. Robot Cop.
I just thought that it was amazing because it was very expensive to go to the movie theater. You would have to get on a bus, and where I lived in Canada, that meant that you would have to take several buses, and you have to time it all out. So if you want to go to the movies, you're looking at like a 4 or 5 hour thing just to see a 90-minute movie, right? So the best thing about it was that it was cheaper. And you got to see all the things that you couldn't possibly afford to see at the theater or the drive-in, because at the drive-in, like they would have like the mega movie nights, like the multiple features, but they were usually John Wayne movies, right? Which I didn't mind because you guys got to know, everyone here knows, I like Westerns. I just do. I like manly men and I like Westerns. So, but yeah, that's the one thing that I found about being able to go to Red Ripoff and grab the VHS player and come home. And, that's how I saw Conan the Barbarian. That's how I saw the Conan movie. I just thought, oh my God, that guy is absolutely gorgeous. And
I didn't say
I had
that.
so much fun. And Red Sonja and
You sat through Red Sonja?
Yes.
Did you know he was supposed to play Conan in that movie, but for some reason they couldn't get the movie rights were tied up, so he had to play a priest, like a barbarian type priest. So I thought Red Sonja was okay. I thought Conan the Barbarian was excellent, and I thought Conan the Destroyer was a little off center, but it was written by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway.
It needed John Milius.
Yeah, they were the two guys I mentioned were Marvel Comics writers, and apparently Milius looked at it and hated it, and put some sex in it or other stuff. I credit or discredit the line that he said. The girls asked him, "Doesn't anything hurt you?" And he said, "Only pain." I think that was Roy Thomas.
Larry, I am seeing all of your answers, and I love you very much, and thank you so much for answering my questions. Sears was Betavision, Sanyo, and Toshiba Beta V8 VCRs. I still have a VCR.
I have one.
I hope it works.
My daughter worked at a condos, whatever, and they all had these hybrids, I guess you'd call them, half VHS and half DVD. So when they switched to all Blu-rays, they got rid of all those things. And she said, "You want one?" I said, "Well, I already got one. I still have my old VHS player." And so she gave it to me. And luckily for me, because I put my first Star Trek tape that I'd bought in decades in, and my old machine almost ate it. So I had to take that thing apart and throw it in the trash and use the one that she's got, and it works. I just don't have a lot of opportunity to put anything on it, but we do
But
have.
if your tape gets eaten, you know what to do. I mean, I grew up with 8-track. You know what to do. You take
Oh, I've
it out,
repaired
you pull
tapes.
out the tape,
Many, yep.
you get Scotch tape. You
Scotch tape. Yep.
remember
I've
that?
done that many times. I didn't do it with 8-tracks. I did it with cassettes, and I don't know if I've ever had to do it with VHS tapes. But yeah,
Well, you had
I've
to do it
broken.
with Kenny Rogers' 10 Years of Gold. Because if you had the 10 Years of Gold in the
Oh
car
yeah,
and
my
you were
pal
plugging that in
Kenny Rogers.
on your 8-track, eventually when you would fast forward or you would choose another track, it would get eaten. You'd have to
'Cause-
pull it all out. You'd swear.
Yeah.
You'd have to straighten it all out and put a book on top of it to get rid of
Yeah.
all the wrinkles.
And
then
why
you'd
was
tape
it specifically Kenny Rogers' 10 Years of Gold? Because the thing cost $1.25.
It
You didn't
was
want to
good
waste
stuff.
money. I
It
didn't. I'm not
defined
going to
your
put
generation, man.
I'm not going to put Queen in there, and it's after Kenny Rogers' 10 years of
10 Years
platinum
of
or
Gold.
whatever has broken, and I'm like Bruce Willis in The Last Boy Scout when somebody else puts stuff in my player, and I'm going, no, don't touch that button. Like, it eats the tape.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the thing. And
I'm not-
westerns were
look,
big back then. Westerns
look.
were huge. So when Kenny
Yeah.
Rogers came out with The Gambler,
Gambler.
oh my goodness, like The Gambler, like everyone, they just loved it. And the only way to go to the cheap theater was to see the old John Wayne flicks. So it was a lot of westerns, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Manly men doing
Yeah.
manly men things.
I
It
met
was
Kenny
most
Rogers,
enjoyable.
by the way. I know you'd be very impressed, but I met Kenny Rogers.
Oh, really?
Only because
Prior to the weird stuff he did to his face?
it was probably during.
Ew.
Because a friend and I wrote a song for him, and my friend was he was a DJ at a local country station, and I worked there part-time, and we wrote a song together, and he knew Kenny already. Listen to me call him Kenny. And I said, dude, you're trying to get him to record this? I said, I use the S word. I don't know if I can use it here.
Shite?
Yeah, basically, this is feces. And I said, he goes, no, this is heartfelt. This is from the heart. It's from my boy that was just born. I said, no,
God.
you can't write a song called Handprints on My Heart. You sound like you're a thoracic surgeon. And he didn't know what that was.
Oh, that
So
sounds
I
really
said,
bad.
here, let me sit down and play with it for a while. And somebody said, oh, you co-wrote it with him? And I said, I threw out the cliches and I corrected his grammar. But I
Oh,
did more
nice.
than that. I wrote half the damn song.
Okay, so now I need to ask,
Look-
did you ever eat at Kenny Rogers Roaster?
No, I
I
don't know
did.
anybody who
I
has.
have.
I did. I
Kramer did,
100%
too.
did.
I
Good
have.
evening, Mark. Do with the
Look
sing.
who's here.
Hey,
Happy
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
What's dude? Hey, lemon
Damn it,
pie.
Mark.
Lemon pie. Hey there,
Pie!
and DJ Ronnie G and Brian Hepburn. Hey, welcome, friends.
Oh, did everybody
Uh-oh.
see
What?
Invincible's tribute to Mark D on that last episode?
No, I don't get to watch.
Yeah,
it.
Clobbering Time sent it to me. Oh, I got to upload that.
I
Yeah,
said it
thank
there.
you.
That
Yeah,
one,
it was
yeah.
just
Oh,
like-
yeah.
The guy beat the chalkboard. Again. God damn
Yeah.
it, Mark.
You saw it. Yeah,
I got to upload that. Yeah,
up that one if you're able.
I will do.
What's going on? How is it?
Oh, well,
How
happy
was-
Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, I woke up
Hey.
from my turkey coma. No, actually, everyone just went to bed. So we're all hanging out with the
Big
family.
night. That's good.
Big night. Well, it
Time
wasn't
to
such
take
a
out
good
a
night
pot
for the
and
turkeys.
spoon and bang the pot with the spoon. Like, get everybody out of bed, get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw my turkey videos on the YouTube.
You're darn right I
Ah.
did. And I also saw him on the walkie-talkie. Wow, you did a good job today. One stuffed, one not
Well,
stuffed.
that was the oven. My brother-in-law did the stuffed one. You know,
Okay.
the traditional turkey in the oven, and I did the deep fried turkey. But everyone,
So
everyone
good.
was picked mine as the better turkey.
Oh,
but,
good, good,
my
good. Yeah,
brother-in-law
but
is a
both of
great
them were
chef,
deep brown. Like
Oh
they looked
yeah, no,
good.
he is a great cook. But you just can't compete with the deep fried. I mean, it's just it's like using a phaser against a lightsaber. The person with the phaser is going to win, right? For us
Exactly.
Star Trek
Mazeris,
fans.
Oklahoma. That's
Well,
like Benny
gang, I got to get up
Rotten
really early in
reference.
the morning and greet more family that's coming over. So I'm gonna
Oh,
skate.
did I scare you away?
No,
Yeah.
you scare me normally, but no, it's just I'm looking at my clock up here and it says 12:30, but I know that's really 11:30 because
That's-
my wife refuses to set the clocks back.
That's
She
not
says,
true.
why? I'm just going to have to set them back again in 6 months.
It's only 11:26. Not
Okay.
11:30.
I'm sorry that I lied to everybody.
You person,
Please forgive me.
listen to me.
Who?
I think that you are
He's not a person.
very sweet person, and I am so
But
happy
God.
that you love your family. You have the most beautiful grandkids, and I want you to have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow with your beautiful family who you love so much, and they love you so much. So thank you so
Well,
much for
But
joining
tomorrow's
us.
not Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday.
Yeah.
And you put poop in the
in
agony
the agony
with me.
booth. Yeah.
So now
I'm not going in there.
shame-kicking you.
Maybe Mark can go in there and clean it out. But
I'm going to shinky. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Wait. Find out the reaction of poop to an agony booth. Ah! Maybe it'll come back to life. Go back.
Get out of here. No, we love you.
I will.
Good night.
I will. I'm. Thanks for letting me jump on here and talk to everybody. So.
Go to sleep.
Anytime.
And if you don't go to sleep, draw, please. Can you please draw?
Raquel, that's the best joke you've ever told.
What?
Go to sleep.
Well, it's true. And if you
He doesn't
can't
know where
sleep,
sleep is.
do me
He
a
doesn't even
favor.
know where sleep is. He can't go to it.
Yeah, well, if you can't sleep, don't go
I'll-
on social media. I want you to draw.
No, I'm going to bed. I could find Singapore before I could find sleep.
Oh,
And I do
JT
mean
Kirk,
on the
did I yell?
on the
Sorry.
on the planet, not on the map. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, you guys have a great
All right.
time. I will.
Later.
Take care.
Later.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Night.
Later.
Happy
JT
Thanksgiving.
Kirk, I'm so sorry that I yelled.
Wow. Did it? Why?
I hurt his ears.
Oh, poor
okay.
baby. Are you that
No.
sensitive just because the Lions lost JT? I'm just kidding, buddy.
No, it's
I'm
not
sorry,
that.
man.
It's because his whole family is sleeping and he's wearing
I
earbuds.
know.
And I just
I know. I'm
yelled.
just ragging on him. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
What?
I love you. Oh,
Yeah,
not
poor-
sure who
and
yelled.
how many-
Oh, it
how
might
many-
not have been me. Oh,
I'm
good.
just kidding.
How many
JT.
times did the Lions get stuffed on fourth down today? 20 or what
More
was
than
it?
more than the turkeys did.
And they got sorry, JT, and they left like 9 points. At least if they go for the field goal, right? They have an extra 9 points.
Yeah.
Or was it
Now,
6
look,
points? Or
you could get away with that against the Bears, but apparently the Packers are playing better. But that's all right. You're going to
Packers
bounce
are playing
back.
better.
Lions to the Super Bowl, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh wait, there's no
my.
Tigers.
Oh my.
There's no
Well,
Tigers.
they're Bengals. I
Yeah.
have a 5-foot thick skins there. I'm a
Nice.
Lions fan. You're a Lions. That's true. He's a Lions fan. He can take
Yeah.
any abuse.
That's
Long
for sure.
suffering. Lions and Browns in the Super Bowl, buddy. I want that to happen. It would break the universe.
Oh, that would be
We
awesome.
have Browns in the agony booth that have to be cleaned out.
That's true.
Did they pick that in Back
Nice.
to the Future? Just kidding. Yes. Could you imagine if they'd picked that in Back? Because I know they picked
What?
the Cubs women in 2015 and Back to the Future, the almanac. You know where the
They do that,
Cubs
it's
win in
true, but, yeah.
2015.
Guys,
Yeah.
Grogu has to leave. Good night, everyone. Enjoy Black
Good
Friday
night,
and this
Grogu.
coming weekend. And always remember, this is the way. Good night, Grogu.
This is the way. Good to see
Happy
you, bro.
Thanksgiving.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving to you, buddy. And from my old hometown, Brogu, folks. There you go. And let's see. Wonky man. Wonky man, welcome to the club. Agony booth is for people that don't get it. You are not put on this world to get it, Mr. Batten.
Oh, you'll get it all right.
Yeah. So there you go. Mark. Oh, good to see you. Oh.
Yeah. So hope you guys had a good. Well,
Marco.
Raquel's in Canadian land, the
That's
other
right.
universe. So you have your Thanksgiving
Canada.
earlier than us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Canada,
but
right?
like I love my American friends so much, and I have so many American friends, and I spend so much time with you guys. And so I made chicken stew, and I spiced it the same way as I would a turkey dinner, so that it felt sort of like a turkey dinner in a bowl. And so I had that, and I was thinking about all of you, and and I was thinking about how beautiful Americans are. You know, like when you compare. In Thanksgiving in Canada is at a completely different month, and it just basically it celebrates a hodgepodge of things, but it's not about the same thing as it is in America, and we only have it for one day. I mean, we don't even do it over a whole weekend, and certainly not a whole month long. And as I look into the American,
Well, we overdo things a lot.
no,
Yep.
it's not that. It's
We're
that
extremists.
it's like I love how much you care about your families and about how you don't get dropped into Christmas. You guys slowly build towards it, and you have all of the people who you love around you, and this whole month is your slow build up to making magic happen in December, and I think it's really beautiful, and I really love it a lot.
RRTNZ says, Samwise Gamgee could wield Mjolnir. Thoughts? Yes, I think he's worthy. Marco?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think it'd be worthy, right? If he can
think he
wield
is
the
worthy.
one ring, he gives up the one ring of power, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a wielder of the
Yeah.
one ring, which is why he gets to go to across the sea. Yeah, I think he would
I
definitely
think
be
I would agree with that.
definitely worthy. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Only him and Thor and Captain America.
No one else.
No one else. No matter what anyone else says.
So did you have pumpkin pie today?
I did not eat any pumpkin pie.
I want pumpkin pie so bad.
There was
topped
pumpkin
with
pie
lots of
there.
whipped
We
cream.
had about. Oh, I didn't take pictures of the desserts. Damn it, Mark. We had.
Damn it, Mark.
Like 3 pumpkin pies. And my son likes the pudding pie, which is basically just chocolate pudding and
Get
and
in
pie
my
crust.
belly. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, that was a good one. And we
You
had
have Mississippi
cookies.
Mud up there?
Yes,
we
yes,
do have
we had
Mississippi.
that.
Yeah, my cousin made some like a actually it was a Mississippi Mud. Now come to think of it, pie. Yep.
Some people screwed up and put pecans in the crust, like one I had. I won't mention today, but yeah.
No, we didn't have that. We didn't have that travesty. Thank God. Otherwise, Thanksgiving would have been ruined.
It can't have anything weird in it, or Clobby will.
Oh, but down here that's not weird. Just I don't like it.
You just don't like it, right?
I got it. Well, my aunt gave me a piece of it, and I was teasing her about it. I was saying, "What?" I said, "I hate pecans and stuff." I asked him, "There's no pecans in this." I was kidding. She goes, "Well, I think there might be the crust and the crust because they asked me over just to pick up a plate and stuff some stuff, and I was just kidding them, but they said, "No, they really do." I was like, "Oh, that's okay. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I mean, I'm just give it to John."
Yeah.
I'll eat. I guess I can eat everything but the crust part.
I'm going to buy a pumpkin pie tomorrow, and I'm going to get whipped cream.
And you're going to eat it all at once?
I might.
Ugh.
No,
I've never had one, but I've never had it, but I still say ugh for no reason.
I like pumpkin pie, but I know that Americans eat sweet potatoes, and that's something.
Oh,
that
they gave me some of that too, by the way.
Yucky.
I used to love those when I was a kid. Now I don't like them anymore. My mom's so pissed off at me about it. Jonathan,
sweet potatoes?
Yeah, you guys have sweet potatoes with marshmallows melted on them. Yeah. Absolutely nasty. Also, that weird corn thing with so much sugar in it. How do you eat that?
What corn? You mean the corn on the cob? What, corn on the cob? Or what?
There's this weird thing. It's like a creamed corn dessert that you guys.
Oh, I hate creamed corn. It's like corn.
Creamed corn dessert?
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's apparently it's like really popular in like
Not
lots
here.
of
Well,
states.
we do have cream corn. I mean, a can.
No,
like
this is something that they do in specific states. Quite a few specific states. And another thing.
Well, sometimes you put in your cornbread, and that's really you make like really moist cornbread with.
That sounds completely disgusting.
It's
also
delicious if you ate it.
Oh yeah, I don't like
with the cornbread with the cream corn in it because
that's nasty.
It's like a brownie.
No, that's vomit. Also, the weird thing that I see all the YouTubers making. I watched like hundreds of these YouTubers. They're like, once it appears for you and you watch one of them, you begin to receive lots of those same videos. And these weirdos take out a glass nuclear vessel. And they put 2 or 3 cans of canned green beans. Then they put mushroom soup. Then they put olives and canned deep fried onions on top of it. And they bake it in the oven and they eat it. And it literally looks like something that, it looks like sick. Like it looks like vomit.
Sounding good.
And apparently like it's a super popular Christmas and Thanksgiving dish. But number one, why would anyone want to eat canned green beans and then put condensed mushroom soup on it and then put olives on it? And then here's the kicker that doesn't make any sense to me as a former restaurateur. Why would you take something that is crispy and has been processed like potato chips? So these onions, they're deep fried and they're crispy and they're like straws, and you put them in the wet and you bake them in the oven. Why would you take something crispy and make it wet with condensed soup with mushy green beans? I just don't
Oh, the green bean. I don't eat green beans to begin with.
Wonky wonk man. Wonky man, yes, mixing sugar with vegetables is evil. Oh, anyway. Mazerus, yeah, the lady with the fake cockroaches in all of her food videos. Disgusting. Do you remember that, Mazerus? We're like, what?
Oh, no.
What the hell are we watching? You and I were so grossed out. Anyway.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, I don't eat the green beans.
No, the green bean thing is disgusting and could not be reached for further comment. Putting mushroom soup, condensed mushroom soup on pork chops is not gross. And the reason it's not gross is that it is somebody who doesn't know how to make a roux. So it's someone who doesn't take 2 tablespoons of really nice butter, melt it down, get a tablespoon of flour going, and then mix in some nice milk and some nice spices. So if you don't know how to do a roux or you're pressed for time, dumping mushroom soup on pork chops is a great way to moisten them and to create a gravy without having to go to the trouble of a roux. And so many moms do that. So that's not offensive. But the canned beans that are already cooked and already mushy and watery, and then putting condensed soup and then the olives and then taking something that would be crunchy and delicious, putting it in the
come on,
cooking it.
We like doing some weird things in America, but
it's gross. Gross. Grody. You know how you would make that? If you wanted to make that, what you could do is that you could take some onions, some really beautiful onions, probably sweet onions, because, they cook down and they caramelize very quickly. So, you could start with some nice canola oil and you could slice some beautiful onion slices and line the whole bottom of the glass dish with those onions. And then, put in some garlic over top. And then you could take fresh green beans, not cut, really nice and long and crisp, and put them in the dish. And then you could make a roux or a hollandaise sauce, and just enough to just cover the beans, and then bake that in the oven. Maybe some Parmesan cheese, maybe a little bit of cheese. Pop that into the oven. When you take it out, you could slice it up. You would have these beautiful caramelized onions at the bottom. You would have just beautiful fork tender beans. You would have this wonderful hollandaise sauce with this wonderful cheese on it. And then you could sprinkle those beautiful crispy onions on at the end, and certainly capers or olives if it suits your fancy. But just mush on top of mush on top of mush. Why? Why are you the way you are?
Well, I love watching, some of those videos where they cook everything all together, like you're saying, but it's like it's supposed to be like a lasagna or whatever the heck they're doing, and it's like, no, this is horrible. You can't do this. Yeah, it's
an abomination, and this what has happened is they've ruined Clobby, because now Clobby says, "Ooh, that has green stuff on it."
You've never had anyone make oyster stuffing for your clobbering times, I hope, right?
Yeah, my mom used to make that.
His mom makes it.
That was different. At least she removed it. She moved it, but so it was fine. Yeah,
it was okay then, right?
Yeah. It was I mean, she has one of her all-time favorite stories of me when I was, I don't know how old it was maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere up in there anyway. And she got tired of me never eating the dressing, as we call it, stuffing. I know
dressing. Yeah. Well, no, we call it dressing too. Yeah.
Well, dressing
mostly stuffing.
Dressing is if it's cooked outside of the cavity, right. And stuffing is if it's
the dressing
in the cavity.
Well, she was tired of me not eating it. So she said, "Well, you're not getting." It was I guess I think it was Thanksgiving actually, and I don't remember exactly how old it was, 10 or somewhere up in there. And she said, "Well, you're not leaving the table till you eat it." I'm not eating it. You're not leaving. You're not getting out of this table. And back then, we lived in a strange world where when your mom told you to do something, you actually did it. Remember that?
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of the kids today don't understand that concept. But you did it. You didn't like it, but you did it. So I said, well, take a wild stab at how long I sat at the table.
3 hours.
No, the whole night.
No, it was closer to about 3 hours.
I know, Clobby.
I got sick of it. But she says it was about 2 or 3 hours, something like that. It's been a while. She's only tells the story once a year now, so I'll keep it going. Or once, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And finally, if you're not, she said, if you don't take one bite, you know. So I took a bite. Boy, I was not happy. And it was cold, but I guess
it's cold by then.
That doesn't matter. And then I liked it.
Oh no, you liked it.
Yeah, and that's my favorite thing. Like
you eat that now?
Oh, I love the recipe.
Oh, he does, but only the way his mom makes it.
When she makes it correctly. There've been times once in a while she's got to do something different here and there, but still, it's always great. For example, I had some for my wonderful aunt tonight.
Oh, you eat the oysters?
Oh no. It used to be they wouldn't be in the dressing. They would make it with what's called oyster dressing, but it's not in it. It's it's used to flavor it or whatever. Yeah,
but she didn't have any oysters in there.
Well,
just the seasoning.
Well, I would make sure that that she didn't. Yeah, the seasoning. Then again, it was. I don't know what she does. I don't think she uses.
This is delicious. Anymore. I think. Yeah.
I don't think she uses it anymore. Either way, I just remember it had nothing to do with oysters. It looked yucky. I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Well, the moral of the story is.
No, they're hopefully not.
Mom is always right.
No, that's for sure. Try it. That is the moral of the story. Mom isn't always right.
I just wanted to get away from the table.
Mom is Mom is always right.
I would not eat oyster dressing or stuffing. To me, that sounds
delicious.
absolutely horrific.
It's based on cornbread, yes.
And oysters look like eyeballs to me. So that's going to be a hard pass for me. The only way that I eat oysters are if they are smoked. They come in a can. You take them out and remove all the oil from them, and then you roll them up in cooked strip bacon. You put a toothpick through it, and then I will eat them. The rest of the time, it looks like something that you cough up when you have pneumonia, and that's a hard pass.
Yeah, I don't need it. Thanks. Wow.
Pineapple on pizza. San Lee says pineapple on pizza. San Lee, that is actually a Canadian thing. A Canadian Greek man invented pineapple on pizza. And it would actually be good if you didn't use canned pineapple, because grilled pineapple is quite delicious, and it goes very well with ham. So it's mostly because people just use old pineapple in cans, and it's soaking wet, and they put it on the pizza, just ruin the pizza.
I wouldn't eat it, but I would. That's not anything wrong with it. Like it doesn't. I can see way grosser crap than that. It's like, but some people get really worked up about it one way or the other, like they're really staunch for it.
Yeah,
or most people are like, oh, this is the worst thing. I'm like, man, usually, because I don't like anything, my pizza's got to have sauce, cheese, a lot of it, a lot of pepperoni, and other meats maybe, but other than that, nothing except some little sprinkles of some, what is it, that stuff that gets it a little spicy, and some habanero honey sometimes, but other than that, no.
Yeah, Chris Persia from Toronto. He was from Toronto, and he owned a pizzeria, a really sweet Greek man, and he had the roast pork with the grilled pineapple, and it tasted delicious. So he thought it would be good on pizza, and I think his intentions were good, and his culinary idea was excellent. Unfortunately, as people began to replicate it, they just way too much like substandard ham, not nice big chunks of country ham, and grilled pineapple, more like canned pineapple, and like the cheapest ham. the ham with hard things in it. So people eat it and they're like, this is sick. Of course it's sick, because it's full of water. Guess where water doesn't belong? On a pizza.
I think it's become a thing to pick on too. I mean, I've had pineapple pizza before. I've had a lot worse food. It depends on
they also
how
don't
it's
like
done,
the candy corn, right, Mark?
Ooh, the candy corn. But let me just
like
show
clams, like he said.
Well, we got like clams, yeah. And,
like
I was missing the chat because I was editing stuff. But here's a New Orleans stuffing recipe, the oysters.
Okay.
So they do include oysters. So you get
but my mom would put that in there.
Yeah, but look at what Clobby just said. It's oysters shucked plus their liquor. So basically, it's the liquor that they just put in there, I think. Or his mom
the water.
is
Well, it's
the
like the oyster water.
Small.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can chop them up. Yeah, so it's more. It ends up being more for flavoring that you don't notice, but then you can combine them. Yeah. So let's see. Do they say they chop them up? Let's see. Ring saucepan. Add
That's
bacon,
because you
shallot,
swallow
celery,
these things raw.
reserved oyster liquor,
Why do
vermouth,
you do that?
and oysters and straight. Well, the oysters probably like disappear too. I mean, they shrivel up
Yeah,
probably.
but
Yeah.
you eat them when they look like something from a Kleenex.
Oh, I love
and
them.
they're
Oh, it's so
huge.
delicious. Yeah, but if you grow up eating it, it's like, why would you eat an ugly cow?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true. It's true. I
it's
understand.
just no.
A
I
cow
mean,
on
I
the
hear
pepper.
you, but like, and you know, in Europe, a lot of people, certain countries eat a lot of wabbits, and you know,
Some of them eat chilled monkey brain. And
yeah.
Grody.
I had bugs for lunch.
That's
So
sick.
here, so
sick.
That's
No.
what. Did you ever see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Raquel?
Yes, I did.
Chilled monkey brains.
so here,
Ugh.
so what? This is what I get for showing the oyster.
God damn it, Mark.
Perfect.
For that, I guess,
I absolutely love that.
yeah.
So weird too, because that is from the new episode of Invincible. I have not caught up on that yet.
I haven't started. Yeah, I gotta catch up to
Could
that.
not
Yep,
be
yep.
reached for further comment. I will not eat snails, and the reason why I will not eat escargot is due to like rat lung and other foodborne illness that you can get. And as I don't know if you know this or not, but rat lung is not something that has any symptoms. And I believe, but I'm not sure, you would need to ask your physician, but I'm pretty sure there's no cure for it.
What
But
turns
you
your
would
lung
need to
into
look
rat?
that up. But that's why I don't eat snails. I won't go anywhere near them. There's no way I will eat them, and I certainly won't eat them in Hawaii where they have rat lung disease. No snails for me. That's a no.
No
Nope.
snails
Nope.
for you?
Nope.
No soup for you. No snails for you.
Nope. And
Tube
no
grubs.
tube grubs,
That's right. Ugh.
especially pre-chewed tube grubs that were in Moogie's
Oh,
mouth.
God.
Snails are so delicious. I have to say. That's another thing where the first time I had snails, we're visiting friends in Switzerland. I was 5 years old, and they made hot dogs for dinner. And I'm like, Mom, I want to try one of those on your plate. Or to my dad. I guess Mom would ate the snails too at that point. She almost broke up with my dad because he served her rabbit stew, and then when he found out it was
Ooh.
rabbit stew, she wanted to kill him. But thankfully they got over that, and otherwise I wouldn't be here. But she was furious with him. He's like, I thought you know, what's the big deal? It's just rabbit stew. She's like, my God. But anyway, so I grabbed one of the snails and I ate it and I loved it. I didn't know what the heck it was when you're 5 years old, because they're in these cute shells, like they're in these big shells, you know, that they put them in, that they reuse the shells. And I'm like, I want to try one. And then and they didn't have that many, so they got mad at me because I kept eating everyone's snails. But yeah, but you grow then again, you grow up with something.
It's
Then
true, but I mean,
Yeah.
do you know about rat lung?
No, I agree. No, it is
Ugh.
gross. Yeah, 100%.
And when you
100%
see
I'm
them,
agreeing
like,
with you, but yeah, you don't want to
especially
see them moving.
especially in like Ireland where they're huge and
Oh, they're
black,
big.
and they look so cute. Like when you look at them, like they have little faces and stuff, and they're so slimy and just they look like
No.
something from another planet. I could never
No,
ever
I
eat that.
agree. I
And
totally
Stephen
agree.
M, I would never eat gagh because although I have a very open mind and a very open palate, I eat a lot of international food. So don't get me wrong, I'm not like just specifically a meat and potatoes kind of person. I actually have a very international palate. The difference is for me, I work so long in restaurants and I've eaten so much international food that I'm pretty much, especially now that I'm older, I'm all about texture. Like I just, there are certain textures that I just think are outstanding in food. And so I'm a texture person. So I can't do something that is like SNOT. I'm sorry, I have to spell that because that's a gross word that makes me feel yucky in my tummy. So I have to spell it. But if it looks like SNOT, it's not going in my mouth. I will never eat bugs. And now I want to ask Clubby and Mark, would you guys eat gagh? And would you eat bugs?
No. You know, I wouldn't.
not.
I'm
No,
surprised
no.
Mark wouldn't, but not me.
I mean, I eat lobsters.
I wouldn't go to
and
the
fall.
Klingon restaurant on the Deep Space Nine promenade at all. I'd never be there.
Yeah, like imagine how it smells, like rotting flesh and dirt. Like, and just like algae and mold and yeah,
Klingons are
Macerus.
weird.
Well, the guy has to
Macerus.
be fresh. Yeah.
Klingons are sick.
No, it's totally
Hard no.
gross. I agree. Totally gross. But it's
Right.
just
Grody to the max, man.
yeah. But it's yeah, and you know, if you when you're used to having certain things, like I said, then you're like, no, yeah, no problem. I mean, no surprises here, and it's just different cultures have different things. So, but yeah, I hear you when you say that. Like, I won't eat string beans because my dad forced me to eat string beans. God rest his soul. When I was a little kid, and I remember myself getting sick eating that. He says, "No, that never happened. That's bullshit." But it just upset me, so I could never eat. Like tonight, they're teasing me. They make, my mother-in-law makes, the string beans with, what do they put in it with the whatever, like the big string bean casserole dish that a lot of people love. Like I can't touch.
So by string beans, remember I'm Canadian. So by string beans, what do you mean? Do you mean green beans that are French?
Green beans, I guess.
Yeah, green beans. Yeah,
green beans that are French.
Yeah.
Okay, so that upset
but
you.
any kind of green beans I can't eat. It doesn't matter what.
I understand. And
but it was from a childhood trauma. It's a texture thing. Like I can't eat, and this is coming from someone who eats snails and clams.
I can't eat. So gross. I
can't eat grapes. I hate grapes.
Okay.
Really? I hate grapes.
Because of the texture, the squishiness. I don't like that squishiness.
Yeah,
but I'll eat tomatoes. I don't like cherry tomatoes that much, but I'll eat them or cut in half.
I don't like
lima beans.
I don't like cherry tomatoes or grape
that
tomatoes.
Much.
Yeah,
that much. Yeah.
I don't like. I won't eat tomatoes. No, at all.
Any kind of berries, like cherries. I can't eat any kind of the cherry stuff. It's just
me either.
Cherries.
I like cherry flavored stuff, but not a cherry.
Yeah.
Like strawberry. I don't want to eat a strawberry, but strawberry flavored stuff. I know it's
Rainier
strawberries are okay. Strawberries are okay.
Rainier cherries are the most beautiful thing, like one of the most beautiful things you could ever eat. Rainier cherries, and they're very difficult to get, and they're very expensive, and they have such a lovely texture and smell, and they have a beautiful tooth to their skin, and they're just outstanding. I recommend them, but they're very difficult to get, at least where I live.
Oh, I found the picture of me eating snails for the first time.
That's disgusting.
Peaches, I like peaches.
To show that.
Oh, I love peaches too.
And pears. Those I actually eat those, but especially peaches.
San
went to the country.
I love cherry brandy, and it is absolutely wonderful, and you can make quite a few Klingon beverages with cherry brandy, and they pass for. I have a recipe for Klingon blood wine, and I use the cherry brandy, and it is so delicious, and it can be great fun. So I agree with you. Cherry brandy is very nice.
Klingon bloodline. Yeah,
I got
cherry Coke
picture.
Cherry Coke is delicious.
I want some
I love cherry Coke. Cherry Coke is good. Yeah,
you gotta watch where you get it though, because if you just get it like in one of those dumb fountains at a fast food place,
right.
Last.
Yep.
All right, that's me in 1976.
Look at how cute you are.
With the bowl
hair. Look at how
cut.
adorable your mother is. Your mother is Mom. So cute.
And this is Henri and Solange. And that's one of the daughter there. You can't see. But then this is, see, I've got one snail on my plate. I can't believe this picture came out. But the one snail there. Oh, I'm wearing a hockey shirt there.
Hockey shirt.
So here's all the snails that everyone has on their plates. Which are, see how cool the shells are?
Snails.
Ew.
And they're no one wants to give me the snail, so I have a snail there, and
cherry 7-Up for Larry.
Cherry 7-Up is delicious.
We don't even have 7-Up. I mean, we don't hear much anymore. I guess they do make it. All I can think of is the jingle from the 80s. Feeling 7-Up. I'm feeling 7-Up.
Yeah, and and they used that one for a really long time.
7-Up. Yeah,
and then it went to crisp and clean with no caffeine.
That's true, but they kept that song, and it's a crisp, refreshing feeling. Crystal clear and light.
Yeah.
America's drinking 7-Up, and it just feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Question for the panelists: which brand of soda do you each prefer? Either Coke. I can't have anything anymore, but my favorite is cherry Coke. But I could live with cherry Pepsi if I have to, because I actually. But when it comes to just Coke or Pepsi without the flavor, I actually like Pepsi better. Coke can be. I mean, I used to love Coke in the green glass bottles, as Rorschach said. Said, American love like Coke in green glass bottles. They don't make it anymore. But
my answer to that is,
Pepsi.
and this is not going to surprise anyone, identical to Clobby. If it's just Coke or Pepsi, I am Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi all the way. And I don't like to drink it out of a plastic bottle. I prefer to have a Pepsi in a can. And I loved it when they had the two little.
I love the green glass bottles, though.
That you would push down. Do you guys remember the two buttons? One big button and one little button. And that made Pepsi different than Coke. So I love a beautiful can of Pepsi, and I drank quite a lot of it when I was younger. But when it comes to cherry Coke is far superior, especially the canned cherry Coke, not fountain, but canned, because Pepsi only makes wild cherry Pepsi where I'm from, and it's not good. It's just not good. Pepsi is a better cola.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the world like a cherry Coke. Like when you pour cherry Coke over cherry ice cream, vanilla cherry ice cream, and oh my God, like what's it called? Bloomin' cherry. What's cherry ice cream called again? Bloomin' cherries.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, pour a cherry Coke over that and just have a cherry Coke float. It's so good.
Wait a minute. Did you see do you remember a couple of years ago though when they came out with they have. Because now they don't have real sugar in them anymore.
No, they don't. They ruined it.
But a couple of years ago, they came back with throwbacks like Mountain Dew and Pepsi, and a couple of because I think Pepsi makes Mountain Dew now, or is it whatever they want? No, they make Mellow Yellow. Anyway, they came out with like Pepsi, like it was a special, like the old ways. I like the old I'm talking about. They did
pure cane sugar. That's the one.
Right. Or whatever. Yeah, it was.
You remember the commercial CNH pure cane sugar? That's
and
the
it was
one?
Different.
Yeah. It tastes incredible. Parrot Head is here. Parrot Head.
Hey, Parrot Head.
Oh,
Parrot
Head.
Here.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, we've seen Brian. Yeah, absolutely. RC Cola. Right. Yep. Cherry Coke. I'll even take they even have cherry Dr. Pepper. Anything cherry. Yet I won't eat a cherry. But
I really like cherry Dr. Pepper as well.
Yeah, but I even like the wild cherry Pepsi, but cherry Coke is my favorite. But again, when I get up at the movie theater, hello, anonymous gamer.
Anonymous gamer.
Hey.
And do you guys know what one of Gene Roddenberry's favorite colas is? Just one of them.
Oh yeah, Mr. Pibb too. Yeah,
he loved cream soda root beer.
Oh,
I like he loved cream soda.
Do you like Bart's root beer or love cream soda?
Well, do you remember that interview that I showed you guys where he?
I think it was cream soda, wasn't it?
It's cream soda he liked.
I thought it was cream soda root beer, but anyway, they brought it to him.
They're two different things.
Cream soda is different than root beer.
No, it's is it the cream soda flavored Dr. Pepper? Let me go check.
It might be.
I think it was cream soda.
It blew
cream soda's
me
by
away
itself.
because they gave it to him by accident. And then he had a full conversation about how lovely he thought it was. They were going to take it away because it was weird. And he loved it. So he drank the whole thing and said it was lovely and had a little conversation about it. And I was like, Gene really liked that. Anyway, I think it was cream soda Dr. Pepper or cream soda.
Might be Barks, or I don't know if they have Barks out there. That's local. What's AMC? AMC cream soda, maybe. I mean, I'm not. No, what's the one? The A&W root beer also makes cream soda. Maybe
this is what I'm saying, right? Hold on. Cream soda.
Well, I would go for always Coke over Pepsi. I don't like Pepsi. It's too sweet, but I've pretty much given up sugar, so I don't. Whenever I drink a soda now, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe how sweet this was. If you told myself 30 years ago, I would have said that. Said I was nuts. But I also love root beer, cream soda, birch beer. Is fantastic. So there's a place in Connecticut called Foxon Park, and they make all these craft sodas for over 100 years. So and it's just like Raquel, if you had their cherry soda, you would go nuts. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's a small mom and
I
pop
love cream
place.
soda.
And real sugar, right, Mark?
They used to,
Oh, real sugar, yeah.
in the 80s, they had 70s, they had yellow cream soda and red cream soda. I love the yellow cream soda. They don't make it anymore.
Yep. I just like the
Loved
fact
it.
that like it when it's made with real sugar, like cane sugar, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet, and it has an edge to it, but it isn't too edgy. Like it's just perfect. Like I find that as we're getting older, colas are becoming more and more and more sweet to the point where I can't even drink them anymore. And it's not just me. Like I watched a documentary on it, and they're actually doing that. So I can only have the minis now. Otherwise, I have to pour it out. Like when I get my cherry Coke, they don't come in minis, so I have to pour out half my can. It's just too sweet.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I can't have anything that sweet anymore.
Yeah.
But Raquel, you would die for their cherry cola if you had it. It's just everything they have is like just so it's handcrafted, so
Looks
just
beautiful.
everything they have is
Foxhound
just
Park.
so much better.
Nice.
And where's this place?
This is in
Strawberry.
New Haven or West Haven, Connecticut, or East Haven, Connecticut.
Boy, I
Oh,
want
wow.
one of those right now. I would drink
Yeah, me too.
The white
Good.
birch is
almost
phenomenal. Actually,
either one of those.
What is white birch?
I like that
it's
cherry.
you use the root of the birch beer tree. I actually made it in Scouts. We'd make it.
Oh, get out
We'd
of
cut
here.
down and you'd put the roots in the. We used it, with like soda water, and then
Yeah.
you'd put you'd do well. You can't put just sugar in it. You have to reduce the sugar as a simple syrup, and
Dr.
you'd
Brown's
make your own
cream
birch
soda.
beer. Yeah, Dr. Brown's is
I
phenomenal.
don't know of them.
Dr. Pepper.
We don't
yeah,
have that
it's like
down here, probably.
It's like a craft soda.
This place
DI
looks.
sodas were good. Now
This
you pretty
place
much have-
looks so good. May I please ask? Is that ginger beer?
Yeah, and they also have ginger beer too. Yeah,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is amazing. Yeah,
That's alcoholic?
ginger
So
root beer.
strawberry and cherry
Non-alcoholic.
and orange and lemon lime. I would drink all of those.
Oh, they're so good. And my friend who lives, shout out to Harold, he got addicted to, quote unquote, addicted to it. So he had some health issues, and doctors like, well, how much soda do you drink a day? He's like, well, only like 6 bottles of Foxhound Park. I mean,
I rarely
had,
drink
like,
soda, but
Yeah.
I was
drink that much.
I was addicted to Arizona sweet tea, so I had to stop. I've cut down all that stuff, but
But
once in a while,
But now it's high fructose corn syrup. It's not a simple cane sugar anymore. So it's super dangerous now. So it's actually this Foxhound Park stuff is like, no cola is pop
We
is
can
not good for you, but at least this is way better than high fructose corn syrup.
Well, you can also
Yeah.
get the Mexican Coca-Cola, which is fantastic too, if you can find that in places. And that's made with pure cane sugar, so that's the best best version of Coca-Cola you can get.
Yeah.
So so they're just really you just taste the difference. So if you're gonna have the calories, you might as well have something good.
Right.
This is a 4th generation, person. It's a family company.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that they're still doing it. Yeah, they don't do much
Beautiful.
advertising. We rely on our product to speak for itself to build loyalty. We've never been big on gimmicks. Yeah. So it's East Haven. They're having a big day, and it's linked with New Haven pizza, of course. So Italian immigrants, they all got started together. So it's
Nice.
I mean, it's unfortunate. I think you can only get it around here, but you get birch beer at Modern Pizza. Just people are used to it. It's just look at this white clam pie and birch beer. I've been drinking this since I was a kid.
Absolutely disgusting. Get out of here.
Pizza
Get out.
shape. But that's how
Leave.
people grew up. Yeah, but
Grody.
grody to the max. Yeah.
Grody to the max, man.
Oh, but that's New Haven is famous for their world famous for their pizza. But it's just funny they mentioned the clam pizza.
Of course,
I
they
didn't
would
know.
then- yeah.
I didn't notice it.
It's like everyone from your area has been brainwashed by the clamming.
Yeah,
Very clammy.
the clam.
Max Redstone says hegemony. Does that have anything to do with shrubbery? No.
yes, it's the hedges written in with the shrubs.
No,
are
hegemony is dominance, social or political dominance
Yes.
by people of upper classes on
Right.
people of lower classes.
And I first heard that, well, not first heard it, but the word I saw that book used in a book used the most was Ender's Game.
Hmm.
You ever read anyone ever read
I
Ender's
haven't
Game?
read it yet. Should I?
I really love the first book. I got a buddy of mine that got to know all the other ones. I think he kind of lost something. But I remember Orson Scott Card wrote it. Of course, has been canceled. But first book's good. They finally did a movie of it. I mean, that was around 2011, 12 or 13 is when I read it, or 14, because everybody I ran into from the generations, of like my kids' age, when Ender's Game, because oh yeah, we had to read that in school. Oh yeah, we had to read that in school.
Not anymore, right?
But now, oh no.
Oh, what year was Ender's Game published?
Oh, I think it's
Gotta be
mid 80s
70s?
or something.
Okay.
Early something like that.
I
But they
can't
finally
remember,
made a movie of about
Harrison
10
Ford.
years ago. Harrison Ford was in it, and it was just not. I mean, it's not the book. I mean, the book. That first book's really good. I never read any other ones, and some people say it's varying degrees, but it's pretty cool. But oh man, it's that feeling when you just finished reading a book and it hyped up that much, but you did go, oh, that's pretty good stuff, and then you see the movie right after it. Oh boy.
Oh, huge letdown.
Yeah, it's never as good. Never as good.
DJ Ryan, he's a fan of it. He says enjoyed it. Books three and later are a bit of a drag.
Chris Persia says it was published in 85. Thank you, Chris.
85. Let's see. Ender's Game, Speaker of the Dead were good for. Yeah, I mean it's really good stuff, but it's Have you never read them, Mark? Either you've heard of them?
No, I haven't read it. I know about I know about them, but
yeah, the kids of my kids' generation all. I mean, all of a sudden, yeah, we were told to read that. We had to read it. Wow,
no, that's good.
And then you read that book and go, you were told to read that. I mean, this is about abusing kids.
Oh, is it?
Well, I mean,
they were a lot tougher back then.
Well, they were these kids these brilliant kids that they take to train to fight this war against these beings without going too far into the plot, are very young. Ender's very young. It's way younger. That's what I was saying when they made the movie. I'm saying there's no way they're going to make a movie. They're an actor this young, so they didn't. In the movie, they aged him up.
Man, yeah, because they find out the kids that have an aptitude, an ability, right,
to fight this war. They have to have kids. Yeah, I mean, the shit that happens to him in the book is. I'm going. There's no way they're going to put this in the movie. They didn't, but they kept some of it, and I don't know. But it's a fascinating book. It's not for the. I don't know. It's great. It's great science fiction. I think it was published. Oh, there you go. So, but Orson Scott Card. That was right around the time he got canceled. He wrote a Superman short story for a comic that got drawn and was going to go into this collection of Superman short stories of the comic. Then they found out some of his views they didn't like because he's a Mormon, and people DC kowtowed to pressure and didn't print the story.
Well, that's very sad. I have lots of Mormon friends. I'm not Mormon, but I have lots of Mormon friends, and that's not very nice.
No, it isn't. Remembrance of the Daleks. Yeah, there's a similarity to that story. To a scene in some Remembrance of the Daleks to Ender, now that you mentioned it, Max, I guess, one bit. Remembrance of the Daleks, by the way, a great episode. But anyway, well, what a great crowd we've had all night. It's amazing. But you know how long we've been on, though, number one? I know it's late for you.
Yeah, we've been on for 3 hours, and it's a school night.
Did
you and
school night? Don't you have the day after Thanksgiving off? Oh wait,
we don't have Thanksgiving here, sweetheart. At this time,
I know. I'm teasing. Yeah, I'm being I'm just being
Weisenheimer.
Being a Weisenheimer. So that means you should play. Where's the tab? Play this.
Yeah. You read Watership Down. That's good.
God damn it, Mark.
Yep. Watership Down. That's another one. You know they actually made a movie.
Good.
They did a movie of Watership Down.
Oh, really?
All right.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Like, you should all probably know that that I allowed my offspring. In fact, I insisted that if my offspring would like a reading list, that I could provide it to her. So I let her read. He's leaving?
Yeah. Good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
Hi, Chris. I just had to show a picture of my turkey before we go. So the turkey's waving goodbye.
I raised my offspring totally on all of those books that pushed ideas that frightened people, and I also allowed her to read a lot of banned books. I felt that it was very important. You know, a lot of parents won't allow their children to read of Mice and Men and the Giver and things like that. And I did edit of Mice and Men, though. I did take some liquid paper and scratch out some of the
Mm-hmm.
words, but it's just because she was very young, and I didn't want
Oh,
her
you covered it up, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just mostly the swear words.
Yeah.
And
Lord
so
of the Flies and stuff like that.
yeah, she exactly. She read Lord of the Flies when like grade 4.
That's
So
a tough book, yeah.
yeah, I wanted her to have a very open mind, and I wanted her to be exposed to all that stuff, and you know, and learn that way, and it certainly worked, and she's a voracious reader now, so I love it.
She might have read Ender's Game. You never know.
Yeah, I would ask her because she would probably say yes. You know, she's a voracious reader. Chris says, "Damn it, Mark, why do you have to be so far away? I need some deep fried gobble gobble too."
Oh my god,
it came out good. Yeah, that I think.
Look
that was
at how
actually the
safe
best.
you are. You did it on your ladder. Brilliant. Good job.
Yeah, so you don't drop the turkey back in, God forbid. Yeah, you got to watch out for that oil because it's if it gets on you too, it's not a good scene because it really sticks to you. But yeah, this turkey came out the best ever, I think, because I injected it. I found a recipe for like a turkey injection.
Nice.
So you use the you know, the needle or whatever, and you just went all over the turkey, and I think that really helped it. So everyone was going crazy because they're like, "Wow, this turkey is so good." You know,
Yeah,
there's
well,
a lot of people
good.
don't like turkey or won't eat turkey. Like,
It's dry.
what's wrong with them?
Try
Mark,
this one.
I know that you are basking in the glory of your deep fried goodness, but Larry is asking you a question, honey. Can you answer him?
Oh, there will be Eater on Sunday, yeah, because we got to go up show all this turkey stuff, right?
I'll try to call in if I can.
Oh, and you have a
you're gonna
thermometer
be
in your
aware.
turkey. I'm so proud of you. No one's going to get sick.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, and that one's in the oil, so yeah, you got to have that. That one's to check the temperature of the oil, and then of course you have to have a thermometer to check the temperature of the bird.
It's stabbed into your birdie.
Yeah. So
that's
you got to know
your
when it's
external
done.
thermometer.
Well, this line here is going to an external thermometer. Yep.
Yeah.
But it failed. Actually, my probe failed, so I got to get a new probe. Yeah.
Oh no.
And you just replace them, but then I lifted it up, and yeah, I had this picture here where I lifted it up, and you check the temperature.
Hey, good. Nobody's gonna get sick.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to be careful. Yep, you don't. You don't want an undercooked bird. Doesn't taste good either. So yeah, there's one thing with steak that's a little. I like it on the raw side, but as long as it hits something. But yeah, you don't want the bird bird like that.
Max just yelled probe for Clobby in the chat.
Oh, what's for me?
Yeah, well, because the turkey was probed and you like probe, so
I don't know if Max
probe.
But he's saying, I think he's not referring to the show that I love, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure he is. He likes jokes like that. That's his
that
personality.
Blue DL.
And Larry says, "Don't probe me, bro."
Don't probe me, bro.
Klingons don't allow themselves to be probed. Oh dear. Well. What a great night Thanksgiving was. You all made it great, man. What an unbelievable crowd we've had here tonight. We really appreciate it. Also, Doctor Who Day. No, happy birthday, real Doctor Who, 60 years old. That filthy crap they make now. I don't know about that, and this bullshit that Mark Gaddis and RTD pulled on that Adventures in Time. Well, I already bitched about that. So, Anonymous Gamer has some turkeys for you there.
Turkey, gobble.
Let's see here. Any closing words, number one?
Well, thank you so much, Captain. Yes, I just want to say hail to the chat. I just want to thank each and every single person who came this evening to provide this wonderful conversation. You are wonderful conversationalists. I enjoyed your company immensely. So thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the subjects to talk about. Thank you for everything. I had a marvelous time. I mean, I always do. Such a great crowd here, always. So thank you, everyone. I also want to thank all of the wrenches. Thank you so much for making this community better, not only by promoting Clubby and his channel, but by helping folks along in the chat and by getting information for us and just for being totally outstanding. I also want to thank all of the lurkers. You know, usually when we're done these shows, 200-300 people will come and watch them, and that's because people download this and watch it later, or they come to YouTube and they watch it on YouTube, and we're really grateful for that. I also want to thank everyone who sent a gift to Clobby, and that could be any kind of gift, including giving away those memberships. Thank you so much. You know, we want to keep the lights on at this virtual comic book shop, and that really helps. So thank you for sending Clobby the gifts. If you're not a member, please feel free to join here. Take this as your official invitation. It's great fun. We have silly emojis, and you can spend time with the boss one-on-one and ask him anything you want to ask him about comic books. And the guy is a subject matter expert and a wonderful Southern gentleman, and you will have a great time here. If you're not ready for membership, please don't forget to hit the sub button, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Clobber it if you had a great time, and go ahead and clobber that notification bell as well, so you know when Clobby is on. I have a book. It's classic science fiction short stories. It's not hyperdidactic. It's not corporate hegemony. It's just good old-fashioned storytelling. And that's why I had to publish it independently. Corporations and publishers are not interested in episodic classic science fiction at this time. So my first book is available at Barnes & Noble. It's also available on Amazon. But if you just want to try the stories one by one, you can buy them for 99 cents on Amazon and Kindle. And I really hope that you will partake in those stories. I think you'll really enjoy them. I have a new book coming out, and I have these marvelous patrons who stand beside me and behind me and help me to get out into the public and promote my work, promote science fiction as a scholar, and also to promote my stories. These are magnificent human beings. I have two full backers, Larry and Tony Stark, and I am so grateful for their readership. I am so grateful for their friendship and their support and their generosity. I could not do it without them. I would also like to thank my patrons for their readership, all of their support, providing all of those wonderful reviews at Barnes & Noble, at Amazon, at Kindle. I just love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. So thank you, Sean Carter from Mars, Cardinal Sin, Shuta, Pew Pew, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K and his trusty dusty dog Kirby, Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C and his beautiful family, Anti-Derivative Jill, Jilly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JJ Clark, Dadman and the Dadman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. You can chuck him some cheese in the chat. And also thanks to Rob Altus and Tyler. I will be at a book signing at the Silver Bells Christmas Market on the Saturday the 25th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so if you are in Alberta and you can make it to the Silver Bells Market, you can get a signed copy of my book. And they make great Christmas gifts. I hear that people really love to receive signed books for Christmas. So other than that, I just want to thank Mark for being just a great friend behind the scenes. He's my walkie-talkie buddy. And he also helps Clobby and I do a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. He's just a really great guy. Literally a Cub Scout leader, and just a really stand-up cool person. Make sure that you follow him on his socials. He has a killer cornucopia, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, for sale. That makes a great Christmas gift. He also has a Patreon, and he's super fun on YouTube and Twitter. So don't forget to follow him. Go get him. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank Clobby. Clobby, you are the Southern gentleman in my life. I love you very much. And if I were any closer to you, I would smooch your whole face and wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I adore you. Thank you for being my friend for the last 3 years. Thank you for making this show so that we could all meet one another and forge all of these friendships. None of us would know one another, and we could not do this without you coming up with all of these amazing ideas and facilitating it here at your virtual comic book shop. I love you, sweetheart. Mwah, mwah. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Love you. Hey, Anonymous Gamer is asking, is there any, he's asked twice now, can you get the link to the Barnes & Noble for your book?
Oh,
you have that?
I can go do that right now. Well, I shut
We'll
up
get
while
it for
you
you,
guys talk.
Anonymous. Let's see. I want to address some of the things in the chat here. Watching Dragonfire. I love that episode. The beginning of Ace, Max Redstone. Underrated episode. Ed Sabalom Glitz. The return of Sabalom Glitz. Let's see here. On this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for you three, always providing such a welcoming place to hang out. Thank you so much. Never have to worry if I'll be noticed when I pop in. You're all wonderful. Well, that's just too kind of you, Maestros. You're a great filler. When back at you, because we love you and our whole audience, all of you. You just make this the most accepting and just cool place to hang out in the chat. I think we got the nicest chat out there. I know I know I'm biased.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
There you go. Could not be reached. Ah, you're on the Claws of Axos. Yeah, in the Pertwee area. Somewhere like in the his third or I think his third season for him. I think his third. That's great. Love it. Roger Delgado is the greatest. The master. I'm usually referred to as the master. And deedishness. So yeah, and again, I want to thank everybody who's here with me last night. What a great time that was. Counting down my favorite top 25 favorite Doctor Who episodes. Controversial list, I know it was. So, Mark, any final words?
Well, thank you so much. Yep. Well, just happy Thanksgiving again to everyone in the States and heck around the world. You can all celebrate American Thanksgiving. But it's a great holiday in terms of giving thanks to what's good in your life. I mean, I know sometimes things aren't the best, but I always try to look at the good things that are happening. So it was thankfully I met you and Raquel through the interwebs here and everyone else in the chat. So everyone's been so nice to us and got as you said, a great group here and just a great hangout. So I want to wish everyone in the chat good night and happy Thanksgiving and thank you very much. And I shall return for Sunday Night Geekery and we'll have a lot more food and maybe we'll talk about some of the other pop culture things that are happening, but we'll do a bunch of food. So please be there with a full stomach. Go out and buy Raquel's book for Christmas or the holidays if you can. I'm going to put the Amazon link in here as I look.
Thank you, Anonymous Gamer says, okay, cool. Thanks. I'll buy it.
Thank you so much, Anonymous Gamer.
Thank you, Anonymous Gamer. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Could not be reached. Great list. Well, thank you. I mean, it's just a personal list. I know opinions vary on it, but it was a lot of fun. Man, you guys were all just. I had no idea that many, and we have a lot of Trek fans, obviously, because it's started Star Trek. But we got a ton of Doctor Who fans, and that was a lot of fun hanging last night on Doctor Who Eve, on the eve of the 60th anniversary. So, in spite of the dire straits Doctor Who is in right now, at least we can still enjoy watching the old stuff and talking about the good times. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah, well, just enjoy what you like, right? So
enjoy what you got.
Just go back to that, and you can always put. That's what I did when Jodie Harris started. I said I'm going to start with 2005 again and just rewatch that again and just enjoy that. And you always have the stuff that you like, right? And I always say keep an open mind, but it's been pretty darn. It's been pretty darn bad. Oh God, woofas. But especially with when we get into and closing the show, but the reaction by some of the creators too. But it's it just brings back such great memories. And I always watching old episodes of Doctor Who. I just remember hanging out with my friends, watching that, enjoying that. So that makes it extra special too.
Yepper, indeeder. So anything else?
Just be. I don't know if I have time for a member. I'd love to do a member stream. I was threatening it. Maybe I can figure out one on Friday. But we still have family in town, so I got to see what's happening.
Right.
But like to do one of those soon. I keep threatening it. I haven't done it yet, but that'd be fun. Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, let's see here. Everyone's been shouted out. Let me do some show. We've been shouted out earlier. We'll do more shouting out Saturday night, but I just want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. The quick show notes. Tomorrow night, there won't be any Fourth World Friday on J-Man's show, but I will. I'll be over there with 2 flavors of Nick Weiser. We're going to review the Galactus Sphinx saga of the Fantastic Four from the from the 70s. I don't know how we're gonna do all of it, but Nick's doing it in one show. I don't know how it's gonna happen.
We're gonna do it one show. I said, right?
I don't get it, but anyway, 9 p.m. Central. I'll be there. I don't know if I can read all that this short of time, but so much going on. But anyway, there's that. But then there's Saturday night Star Trek. That'll be same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to Saturday night. 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek for y'all. And so there's that. And then I don't know. I know Mark's got the geekery. I try to call into that if I can hang out with you. I should be able to.
Yeah, because you.
And so I don't know about Monday night yet. It's up in the air. I might just say not do a show then, and I know I can't do one next Wednesday because I'll be driving, or leaving that next one. So anyway, but we'll be back for next the Clubhouse next week with our usual reviews and all that fun stuff. But in the meantime, everyone, I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I hope you had a good time tonight. I sure did. You're all rock. You're all amazing. The greatest. I'm thankful for all of you. Now let's just rock this sucker till Christmas, and we'll have a lot of fun stuff building up to Christmas because this time of year is my favorite. So I hope it is yours too. So Good night, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Hope I see you Saturday at Star Trek.